Oh,
Seeing your
welcome
lovely face
to
is so
Dark Side.
annoying.
Oh, sorry, someone's talking on the mic.
Sorry.
uh, welcome to Dark Skies, 2007, or no, 2077. This is pickup game number 4 entitled Networking. We will begin our story tonight, well, rather today. The day being the same day as the last pickup game, except in the afternoon. So, for those who didn't watch Pickup Game 3, Mooney and his family, the Andersons, kind of went on a spree in Japantown slash Kabuki trying to get Mooney's car back, ultimately succeeding. At the end of that session, Riff called Hungry, a fixer in the Glen, played by Joe. We'll have a description of him here in a second. Um, and told him what he saw Mooney pull out of the back of the car. Those items being, firstly, probably the more important thing to Hungary, a pair of mantis blades, specifically Arasaka prototypes that are utilized on their top tier ninja assassins. Um, so thermal blades, the works, right? Um, and then some stuff that was labeled Lazarus program or project. I don't remember which uh, in the current moment, but
Project.
that was for from what he understands, related to not only Biotechnica, but Letty more specifically. Um, so that happened. Riff, since that call we kind of already have the details of, we're not going to run through it, but at the end of that call, um, Hungry would have invited you out for work, um, which you haven't talked to him in a while, like since the gig, right? So the last time you talked to him was like a pretty big deal. For those who aren't familiar with the location, it's been a common one throughout the series, but advances in technology allow me to show it in more detail, which I love. Um, it is right in the midst of the Glen, hidden underneath a highway, next to some very fancy, for the area, apartment buildings, and the like. But it itself is kind of like pushed back in. It is what appears to be nothing more than a storage facility for nearby um, companies or what have you. There's supposed to be a road that goes through there, or the partitions are for different spaces and are just left over from former construction. Behind those concrete slabs, not very visible here, and also behind the viewing party, are basically small little camps for the dejected, the homeless, and yeah. Despite that, they all seem to be in a cheery mood today, in particular. And I will say that the first person we have that will be kind of entering the scene here will be Riff. You'll notice that because you've met Carl and you know Carl, right?
I know Rip now, yeah.
Zip, yeah. Did you
Yep,
put the
yeah.
R on there just because you like R
I
names?
put the R on there by accident.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. You would know that he sleeps right outside of the office, and you would see that the tent has not changed.
Hmm.
Still presumably like set to blow the fuck up, and all sorts of crazy fun times. But it does not appear he is in it. So he's probably out and about after the car ride and the bike ride for him, throwing large men around and the like. Um, that said, you go on in. You've been in here before. In fact, you planned one of the more legendary heists I think we've had in the series. And we haven't really seen the inside of it. We've had it described, but it is pretty much night and day. So outside, it is stark. It is a kind of bleak reminder that the combat zones of the past, still very much exist. There's still like horrific, dejection of the human populace, unconcern for the well-being of humanity on the part of the corporations. But inside of this space, uh, it seems like there's a level of professionalism that has been kind of mustered from the surroundings to kind of put forth the best foot possible for the fixer to be the most successful fixer um, in Night City. Uh, Probably not true, but at least to Rip's understanding.
Yeah.
Um, Inside, outside you would have seen the food truck, bright red, almost looks like a trash truck that has been customized so that the trash container in the back has been removed, and instead a kitchen has been placed there. Logo for Hungry's Burgers on the side, and you would have seen Mac in the truck as you kind of made your way over. But inside, seated at the desk that's kind of across from the table, is Chino, who you know is Hungry's like kind of main bodyguard. And Hungry, of course, is seated at the big chair. Um, you come in. You're first here. What do you do, Rick?
Yeah. When Riff comes in, he just kind of probably picks not one of the chairs right next to Hungry, but definitely one on the right side. Probably the one closer to the opposite side of him. He just kind of sits down, and when he sits down, he kind of pulls out his guitar and starts playing a little bit till the rest of the people show up.
Anything in particular that you're playing, or just ripping?
Just riffing.
There. So the next person that will come to the site at kind of the time here will be one of the two individuals that are not mentioned in the kind of blurb as being arriving. So that'll either be Lark, your character, or Daniel, your character. And you two can fight about now, verbally, at one another, which one of you
You can go
two.
first.
What a gentleman. So, Lark, your character, who again we'll call cryptid for just ease of pacing, um, is arriving on the scene. Based on what we've discussed prior, public transportation is obviously the method that cryptid would have arrived. Um, the bus would have dropped you off just about half a block down the way. Short walk over. It's not like this kind of territory is anything different. You're kind of from the Glen, so it's pretty much what you're used to. Um, but when you open up the door does seem to kind of cause like a blue tracer to kind of run up and down your face and body, auto activating your face blocking detection unit, which to you inside Hungry, you see an alert, and then like the camera pops up, and you see the person that was described to you by uh, Zigzag, but they seem to be trying to kind of protect their identity. And it seems your scans aren't able to pull up like NCPD records or anything on this individual. Do you let them in despite this kind of strange contact, or
Yeah.
okay? You enter into a hallway. I'll move us to a battle map. Yeah, I made a battle map of this space, which means at some point I need to murder people in it. Uh,
Makes sense.
sure, yeah, yeah.
And wonder.
But when you enter in, you would kind of see like a long hallway with kind of digital plant-like structures kind of running along the hallway. and then a doorway that would open for you as you kind of approach. You enter into the office space as we saw it. Hungry, new person enters into the room.
Your Zigzag's contact.
Might be.
Hello? Oh, hold on, my headset died and I can't hear anything right now.
We can hear you.
Oh no, Hungry's gone deaf.
Hungry, might be, was the response.
Sorry, where are my manners at? I'm hungry. This is my place. I'm expecting. I thank you, but I'm not
I can
sure.
hear now.
Shut up!
Okay. Oh, I can hear. Hold on, my Discord disconnected my headset.
Oh my gosh, bro! You
It did not,
terrorist!
actually.
There we go.
You
Okay.
were. We could
Features,
hear
not
everything,
bugs.
bro. You were
Oh my
talking over
God.
everybody.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you didn't know, because if you'd known, you wouldn't have.
Oh my
So, for the cutoff there, go ahead, Joe, if you finish, then your beat.
Yeah, he would say that, introduce himself, and stand up from the chair and walk over and offer a handshake.
So we'll describe Hungry to you as he approaches. Hungry, go ahead and do so while I find that picture.
He's definitely a very large, tall man. He's 6 something on the upper hand, 300 something pounds. He's a big guy. He's got a lot of, in the right light, hints of chrome under his skin. He's very flashy dressing. Looks out of place being here in the middle of the hood, really, but it looks like he's intentionally being over gaudy. He's got a bunch of chains that he's wearing around his neck, including a diamond bezeled cheeseburger being like
Oh
the
my
main
God.
centerpiece.
He's my new favorite person.
Well, he does look hungry, huh?
Oh my god. I knew Almano would appreciate Hungry. I
The
knew that was going to
cheeseburger.
be the case. But we'll get there. And then what you're standing, kind of walking over to, rather. Lark, go ahead and describe your character while I...
Okay. Well, Cryptid, she's about 5'6", maybe 115 pounds. She lives primarily off of kibble, only when she can get it. So she's a little bit skinnier than she probably should be. As far as apparel goes, she is in a mismatch of practical clothing, basically whatever she could get her hands on. She definitely looks like she belongs in this area and on the streets. Her hair is, I would say, around a little longer than shoulder length, wavy-ish. She has the left side of her head shaved. It's got lots of colors in it. Kind of looks like she dyes it anytime the roots grow up, with whatever color she can without re-dyeing the rest of it. It's kind of a mix match. She is currently wearing a what is it called? Sorry, my brain is doing a nope.
It's basically a sensory mask, but it only comes up for, like, digitals.
Mhm.
I don't think Hungry
But-
does digital scans. Like, nobody can actually
Yes.
see it unless
But
they're looking
underneath that, she still
sorry.
has anti-surveillance makeup. Because although you can't fool cameras with it these days, you can fool people with it. Her eyes are currently a bright blue, but that's her. What are they? The. Sorry, my brain is not working. I worked a long day.
Jeez.
Yes. They are digital eyes, you know.
Yeah.
What's the word for that?
Cyber
Something or other
eyes.
tax. Yeah.
Shift tax.
Just put
Yeah.
cyber in front of everything and it'll
Yeah,
work.
that-
Yeah,
that'll
cyber.
do it.
But they got a specific. Who cares? Anyways,
Oculus.
she literally looks like she rolled in off the street, though. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. What I would say to Hungry is you're a smart lad, especially when it comes to kind of levels of paranoia. Not just for yourself, but also for your clientele, right? I mean, you got a guy who sleeps outside who literally wraps everything in tinfoil, you know?
Mhm.
So you understand the reason why she has her makeup done like that. Like, there's literal, like, squares and diamonds drawn on her face, right? You understand it's to avoid kind of detection from NCPD, CCTV, and also like corporate kind of scans from drones and what have you. And you also notice that she has like scabs are usually the ones who wear them. So if you've played Cyberpunk 2077, the mask that you saw in the camera was basically a hologram that's projected outwards for digital scans to like block things from recognizing the person underneath. So you understand that she, and probably why she is looking for work, and it was kind of moved in such a measure. She has reason to be paranoid. There's probably something there. But you would also understand that she apparently has some pretty solid connects. So kind of a risk, but also kind of a boon.
It's like I can't feed myself, but I sure do have some tech.
Yeah, some people are looking out for you. Okay. Back to you. How do you want to move it forward?
Yeah, so like I said before, I introduced myself. I'm hungry. This is my place. And he would stand up and walk over to you and offer a handshake gesture.
You can call me Cryptid. And she'll reach out her hand, shake as well.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. I'm highly recommended by some very important people.
Yes, I do. Yes, I am. One of those.
I think Rift's like right here.
Yeah, Rift's
on
not
the
too
map.
far off. So, and it's probably still just kind of like plucking the strings. Brent, go ahead and describe your character real quick.
Riff is wearing like pretty stand-outing clothes. Like they're pretty bright and like obviously show-offy. Except for his jacket, who's got his band's logo on it. It's like a black and red color. He's got Kim hair, so right now it's probably after doing the drugs and the job, it's probably like a mix of colors. The only noticeable thing is it is like snake scale design because of the band name, and then he's got cyber eyes that are black and blue that are also in like a snake eye design. He's covered head to toe in tattoos. He's got a pretty nice pistol on his side, and he's playing a guitar. If you look into the guitar case, you will see a rifle in there as well, but it doesn't look like it's ever touched.
Real quick, this is where we get to a contest of knowing. So, Lark, go ahead and roll a d10, and Brent, go ahead and roll a d10. Just a d10. Okay? Okay. So, Lark, you are not a fan of music. You've never heard of Impure Cobra. That's not your thing. Rip, on the other hand, you couldn't miss the shirt. The shirt seems to be broadcasting that this individual, if they put the shirt on intentionally, is a fan of the band Diamond Gunk. The lead singer of which is Thorn, who was in the Edge Runners mission kit session we had. But yeah.
Riff will be like, "Hey, nice shirt. I used to listen to them before I started playing."
She's gonna
And he's
look
still saying
down,
I'm
kind
playing
of.
his guitar.
She's gonna like kind of pull the shirt out and look at the logo. 'Cause she forgot what shirt she put on, and she's like, "Oh, cool."
Fake fan. Okay.
Huge fan.
I would say about that time, prime time, you would be coming up to the door. Hungry, after kind of the shake, you kind of hear the chime and gesture for Cryptid to have a seat. And make your way back to the big chair to check who's at the door. You see, go ahead and describe your character, Daniel.
So you see a gentleman about 6 foot, 180, completely chromed out right arm, full tats on the left. Looks like a guy who always wears tank tops to make sure that you can see his tats and his arms.
As you should.
Right?
So
Exactly.
as everybody should, honestly.
He has shades on that look just like John DeBrace that
Yeah.
he has on right now.
Classic aviators.
Clean cut, just seems like, he's just really needs some money. Is really what's going on here.
Kind of has like a preppy look to them, I think.
Yeah.
especially with
that'd be
the
correct.
rolled background. And but you definitely get the vibe that this is a computer dork, right? Just on the look from the camera. And the face scans do come up. This individual has no reason to hide who they are. Psych Dupre is the name that comes up in the NCPD database, and there is a single case in the NCPD database as thrown out. It appears to have been a larceny charge. An item worth less than 5 ed was taken from a 25/7. The only time he ever got caught. You let him in?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You walk through the same hallway to the same door, come in, you would see the members of the crew we've seen already.
Give a quick nod.
You must be prime time, is that right?
That's correct. And you're hungry?
Yeah, it's good to meet you. Gonzo's told me a lot about you.
It's good to meet you too. Heard you were looking for a little help.
Yeah, I got some positions open in my business. Looking to hire someone of your talents would be good to have around. Have a seat.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll just walk to the closest empty chair. Sit down.
Okay. So the closest empty chair would be determined as to where Cryptid would have sat. Do you sit across from Riff or next to Riff? Lark.
Across from.
Lark. Do you sit across from Riff or next to?
We'll sit across from Riff,
Okay,
like
so
a goblin. I cannot sit normal.
the closest chair for you then, Primetime, would be next to Riff.
Got
Okay.
one leg over one of the arms. I'm kind of like leaning back. Look like I'm clinging on, kind of.
It's kind of a
Great.
funny scenario too, like when Primetime sits next to Riff. Riff, you're like, street punk through and through. And Primetime's like punkish, punk adjacent. And you're kind of like, all right.
Tech bro.
Kind of has a tech pro look to him, yeah. I drew him just as you told me to.
Oh, I know, bro. I run a startup.
Fair go. Leaving it to you, Joe, if you want to go ahead and engage these two for a little while.
You prime time Cryptid. You guys grew up here in Night City. And you know around town.
My way around Night City.
I've been here. I've been here for quite a while. I know my way around.
So you know it's a dog-eat-dog world out here. It's hard to get your foothold in, start climbing up through the pile of shit everybody starts in. That's what I'm all about. Opportunity, everybody making money, everybody coming up in the world. My word is my bond. If I say I'm gonna do something, I always follow through, no matter what. When I tell you that you're gonna get paid, you're gonna get paid at least as much as I promise you, if not more.
That's what I like to hear.
That's what I'm here for, the creds.
In hard times out there, the only thing that has gotten me by is loyalty. Those I've surrounded myself with, and those who've been there for me when I needed them. If you guys work for me, you'll have my loyalty. Any favors you need, anything you need done, need to find out about, if your girlfriend's sleeping around, your boyfriend's sleeping around. Get the deets on your landlord so you can press them, anything.
I love him so fucking much. Sorry, continue. If
I
not,
just nod quietly.
yeah, if that's a lock-in, at that point, Redtail, you exit the cab, just down the way, you would see a big red food truck, and you would see El Mano, who I don't think your character has met in person yet. Big old guy who's about to be explained by Magpie here. What does your character look like?
Real big guy. I forget how tall he is, but he's like definitely like
He's in the sevens.
almost. Yeah, like
I think
he's like 7 feet tall.
I'll be honest. The only guy I think that is taller than Hungry in the whole book, it's El Mano.
Hell yeah.
So, huge guy, muscled, wearing like bright pink, like tank top, pool floaties on his arms.
Water wings.
He's covered. Yep, water wings. He's got like tats everywhere. Got cyber gear on his chest. Little basketball shorts, and he's probably still rocking some road rash, I would assume.
Tattoos.
This is the same day.
I say the tattoos look like a mix between like someone trying to be a Valentino, but like objectively failing in the art levels.
Yeah.
And like a middle schooler's like notebook. Like
Yeah. Legit.
Like
Yeah, but he like if this is the same day as that
Same.
last pickup game, he's also covered in road rash.
Yeah. There's bandages. One of
It's
the
just like
floaties
his
is like
butt.
deflated and like sagging.
You're telling me he looks like a kindergartner, who just skid
Like
off a slide.
7'2" kindergartner that just ate it on the blacktop.
And got a little too creative with the gel pens.
Square. Yeah. And he's like got a big old cheeseburger, and also he's obviously wearing a luchador wrestling mask.
So, we're going to show you how it's done, those of you who are newer, by having a very short interaction. So Redtail, you make your way towards the door, and you would see that the luchador is also headed over to you. You'd also pick up that the food truck's name was Hungry's Burgers, and the guy you're coming to meet is named Hungry. Doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist. But I'd like for you to go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can point or like figure out that El Mano's like following you up to the same door or not. So what Tyler's going to do is go into his character sheet, find awareness in the skills tab, click it, and then select perception, click it, and roll, and which he has done. Game runs on a D10 system. You add your score plus your skill modifier into the roll. If you roll a 10, it explodes. Roll the D10 again. If you roll a 1, it explodes in the opposite direction, meaning your roll will be detrimented by the second roll. Simple as. Easy peasy. So, Redtail, you're going to describe your character here in a second, but as you're walking up to the door, you would notice that you're being followed by the luchador. Tyler, go ahead and describe your character. And then this one, for those who are not terribly familiar with Cyberpunk, may come as a bit of a, oh, okay.
So,
pretty cool.
Redtail is about 6 foot tall, very skinny guy. He's an exotic, which means he's a fox, basically. Like he went and got lots of surgery in Seattle. He's a med tech, so like he's a very, very good surgeon. He wears mostly nomad leathers because he just likes the style, I guess. And most of the time, he's going to be wearing his REO Meat Wagon poncho because he works for them part of the time. No, he couldn't make it in Trauma Team, but
Right.
Fuck them anyway.
They're the big league.
Fact.
You need to be able to bench like 350 to get into Trauma Team.
Yeah.
So the way I imagine it, El Mano, is exotics are pretty common in the Glen. Like they're not like the party kids are definitely in the Glen. That's where they roll. So like families like the Piranhas and other shit kind of roll in this space. So people do what they want. People live the life they want to live. Redtail appears to be just like that, but he has a swooshy tail. So
you freaking knew, man.
It's like I know the character. So-
it's literally the only thing that could distract him from the food
I
is
would,
like,
I would say, Redtail, you notice the luchador has followed you behind the road barricades up to the office, but you have no idea whether this person has followed you with good intent or not. So, how would you like to
he's
proceed?
kind of scary looking and a little fucked up right
He's
now.
got,
Oh, you said he's got like he's all like damaged. He's gonna turn
Yeah.
around and be like,
Yeah,
Do you
he
need
ate
something to
it
look
in
at
a
that?"
high-speed chase.
the fox speaks and says,
Like,
You said, do you need
know,
something?
you can look at it. You can look at it like the road rash, like something to look at that.
Huh? Oh. I mean, yeah. Wait, do you know someone?
he's wearing a doctor's coat.
Look down.
No, nobody.
Oh,
Redtail dismissively walks over to the door.
okay.
Scan pops
Come on.
up. Elmano, you kind of stand there for a second, realize that that's the door you're supposed to be going into. Redtail pops up on your camera scan there, hungry, and you would recognize this individual as Redtail. No NCPD contact, and it looks like they go by Redtail in all the documents that you have. What your information here is able to pull as well, though, is there seems to be a Biotechnica connect with Redtail. It seems that the corporation has effectively like a warrant out for him that has been subdued, but the warrant was for stealing from Biotechnica, like stealing meds from Biotechnica. So you're aware of that fact because of, we'll discuss that if it actually comes up. But yeah, you have that data. You let Redtail in?
Absolutely. We love that. We love that around these parts.
Elmano, not really sure, like, not understanding of the security. You see Redtail go into the space that you know you're supposed to go into.
And I start walking behind him.
Okay, so there's a bright red, like, chyron that appears on your security device, and you see Chino kind of reach for his gun. Everybody at the table is kind of, like, shook for a second, but, like, the very large Hispanic gentleman behind the desk is, like, getting up with a pistol coming out. Do you stop him hungry when you kind of see what's happening? Because
Yeah, I would just raise a hand up.
Chino,
Hold on, he's good.
Elmano, red lights pauses for a second, red lights go away. Oh, okay.
With his like his cheeseburger, he's like,
Redtail also stopped for a second, like.
Redtail, you can get down the hallway. Elmano slowly coming behind you. The exotic enters in, and then the luchador enters thereafter. In kind of such a sequential order that you're kind of going to be greeting them both at the same time, hungry.
Yeah, that should be it. You know, these are our last two. Come on, welcome in. Have a seat. I'm hungry. It's good to meet you.
Thanks for the
Okay.
invite.
So ultimately, what will end up happening here is one of you will be chairless. It won't
I
be
shall be fearless.
the people who were in here before. It'll probably be Elman.
yeah,
Chino
for
kind of
sure.
looks at
There's a
you,
chair.
shrugs, gets up, takes his chair and pulls it around and sits you across this table from Hungry. And then he'll walk back over to the other side of the desk and just stand there with his
Oh,
arm
thanks.
crossed.
Gracias.
De nada. Then
Welcome.
go ahead.
Oh, what's then? What is the
I was
then?
gonna say, and then Hungry starts in. Oh, so you literally you cut me off at the pass. That's what you did.
I appreciate you all being here. I'm sure you've heard I've got some job opportunities, some positions open. I'm looking to fill. And that's the reason I've brought you all here. I've either heard about you, or I know of you. Some of you I know well. But you're all here because you have a particular set of skills that I'm interested in testing out. And when I do jobs like this, I like to get to know the people I'm working with firsthand. So I'll be going on this little trip with you. Riff, I already know what you can do. Prime time, I understand you're a net runner. Is that right?
On this.
Yes, that's correct.
And how good are you at what you do?
Like I can.
Sorry, say that again.
How good are you at what you do?
Pretty good. I mean, no one's caught me yet, right?
If you've been around that long playing in the web and you ain't been got for nothing, I guess that's a good thing. Or maybe you just don't, you don't get too dangerous.
Well, there's only one way to find out. But I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Cryptid, we've never met before, but like I said, you come highly recommended. What is your skill set, strengths and weaknesses?
I'm good with some tech, and other than that, I've got good eyes. Real good eyes.
It's always good to have somebody looking out for you. Redtail, I understand you know Buzzard. Is that right?
Oh, I know Buzzard.
You're in the same line of work. Is that right? Medtech. Ripper Dog.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. We both looked in silence.
Alano just got the addition done for him. The 1 + 1 now equals 2.
Yes, I'm the best around.
How are you under stressful situations? If you're out on a mission and your crewmates are dying around you, going down, you're gonna be able to keep your cool and patch them up as best you can.
I've seen combat.
That's good to know.
Mind if I smoke in here?
Nah, feel free. Would you like a cigar?
Oh. No, that's too rich for me.
Chino's like already standing next to you with like a wooden box holding it open. There's like it's not like a set of like cigars. It's just like a plethora of different types.
Just a box of random cigars. There you go.
If you don't take one, he shuts it and kind of walks back over to the desk and sets it back in the drawer.
It's too rich for his blood. He just pulled that little pack.
Morley's. Yep. And a good note on that, just as a heads up, packs of cigarettes in Cyberpunk come in like Ziploc baggies, like little pull open, little Capri Sun style shit.
Yes.
So it's probably already done, so just a pop pull.
And Hungry would light up his own cigar as you light up your cigarette.
Yeah, Chino would make sure to get you one. Unless you've already been you've probably been nursing one for the day.
Yeah. Pulls a half the stubber out of the ashtray and lights it.
Yeah, love that.
And then he would look across the table to the giant.
Elmano, you've done a lot of work with people I know, people that have worked for me. Your reputation precedes you. I hear you like to punch things.
I mean, I'm good at it, yeah.
It's good. It's always good to have some muscle around. Like I said, I do appreciate you all coming here. I do have a job opportunity, but first, I was telling the others here a little bit about what it is that I do. I'm in the business of making money, making opportunities. I like to share those things with my friends, people that work for me, the people that I surround myself with. You're all here because I know of you, know of your reputation. If you do work for me, you have my loyalty. What that means is the entirety of Night City will be at your disposal. Anything that you need. Off-market cyber gear, underground BDs, whatever it is that tickles your fancy. I can get it for you. Anything you need. And as far as payment goes, you will be overcompensated if you do well for me. The most recent job I got coming up, I'm going to meet a guy I've never met before. I don't suspect any foul play, but I don't trust him either. So I'm gonna need you all here to watch my back. Typically for a low risk, low end security job like this, a good amount of payment would be 300 eddies a head, a piece for you. I'm willing to offer 500 a piece, as long as you watch my back, make sure everything goes smooth, and we get out of there.
Five hundred
Primetime
eddies.
just
You
nods
mean
his head.
I might be able to pay rent and eat this week? Hell yeah, I'm in.
Do you know anything about this guy you're meeting?
I know his name is Mal DaVinci. He goes by the name of Flasher. He's a low-level fixer. I don't even know anything about him or the jobs that he has done, if he has done any, but he requested a face-to-face with me, which is unusual for another fixer to do. Since he's so small-time, I really don't suspect he'd try anything, but I don't know for sure, and that's what I need you guys for.
Does that name ring a bell at all, John?
Flasher,
Yeah.
roll a d10. Anybody can if they want to. He's a fixer, so everybody would have some kind of semblance.
A 2.
2 is success. Flasher is, if it's lower than 2, 2 or lower, then you know of Flasher. If it's not, then you don't. Yeah, so Elmano no, Rip no, Lark no. I'm sorry, Cryptid no. I'll get it in my brain. At the bottom, you can change it to rolling as yourself or rolling as your character.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
No worries. I usually keep an eye out for it because Foxen did it too. Though he is playing a fox. The character's name is not Foxen. That is his
Might have
name on
spoke at a turn. I don't think I know anything about him, right? I assume you.
I sent you the details that you'd have on hand. Basically, everything you said is accurate. And yeah, he's a good contact for you. You've definitely gotten information from him before. I wouldn't say that you're like on a good relationship term with him. Like it's not like you guys are like best fucking friends or anything. But like, he hasn't wronged you. But there's no reason why he wouldn't try, right? Like it's fucking Night City, so. He definitely is the one trying to elicit this meet, which is not common. It's not impossible to happen. It's not like nobody calls people to hang out. It's just like it doesn't come up very often, you know? But with that too, Redtail, you would know that Flasher deals mostly in Vista Del Rey, which I'll move to the big map real quick, just so we have an idea of what we're talking about here. So, see where I pinged just there? And snap pinged you to it, so you have to see it. All the way to the west of that location and all the way to the east of that location until you hit water, and then directly north until you hit very massive buildings is called the Glen, that section. Now, the western portion of it used to be called South Night City and was a combat zone back in the time of the Red, but it got cleaned up by a gang called the Zoners, and also with help from another gang called the Joe Boys. They cleaned that bad boy up, and now it's kind of like ritzy, kind of like gentrified, but not gentrification. More like they made it more livable for the people who are there, and it's like high quality. One of the few W's in all of Night City's history. And then to the east of that, like I mentioned, is where you kind of have that canal, right, that runs straight up from effectively Mega Building 3, which is H3 on the map, hanging there, all the way up to where it hits another canal. That strip of territory on that coast of the canal there is called Vista Del Rey. And Vista Del Rey is basically, if you can't afford to live in the city center, like fucking prime time over here, Mr. Living Large, uh, you get shifted out to a Connaught in Vista Del Rey. It's filled with you got, small little hole in the wall food shops. You got small little hole in the wall, uh, net runner shops, all different types of shit. It's also got its own little marketplaces and stuff hidden, here and there. And like malls in their own little buildings. But it's mainly known as kind of like the spillover from the city center and corporate. It's got a lot of apartments that are kind of older style that are utilized by corporations. And as far as that space, when you were working with Meatwagon, Redtail, and because of its proximity, Meatwagon tries to steal a lot of jobs from Trauma because they're right there in Vista Del Rey. When the yellow coats come out, it's like, well, yeah, we're here. We're here for the emergency, and Trauma isn't. So you're getting us. We're taking you to the hospital right now, and they take you to the shit zone over at Meatwagon.
Hey.
Sorry, man.
You'll live.
We're gonna get you to live. It's not gonna be glamorous. But yeah, Meatwagon's right there, so they just pop in to Vista Del Rey all the time. So when you were going in there, your buddies in Meatwagon, especially John, if I remember his name correctly, he would get side gigs from a fixer named Flasher, and you kind of remember that because the name Flasher was kind of a fucking weird name for any human being to take as their handle.
I made fun of him. I was like, what is he doing? Fucking in a trench coat?
And then he tells you, no, he's kind of like a small sales type person, and he sells shit out of his coat like a movie or a video game character or some bullshit. Like he literally just has shit in his jacket.
Like a Flasher.
What are you buying? What are you... Yeah, that exactly.
He's the Resident Evil fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's the Resident Evil version.
Right. Exactly. So that's what you know
I've
about
actually
him.
met one of these people in real life in New York City, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, again, his reputation is not massive, but you know that he is a fixer that kind of like does tight work and does a lot of information trafficking because of where he's working, right? Because corporate shit usually pulls pretty big pennies, especially if stuff slips like shipments or where something's going to be and what location. So sometimes even the smallest of the mice can be very important. Continue.
Yeah, so that's what I said. Said what I said.
Yeah. Well,
So
mainly for Tyler can react to what was said and with the knowledge that he has if he wants to.
Why would a small fixer like that want to meet?
No idea. Usually it would be some sort of information exchange, but we could do that without meeting face to face, so it's a little peculiar.
Must have something big.
Yeah, could be. Always trying to make a come up, and I need that to not happen.
I've heard of him. I doubt it's a come up. Seemed like a rat to me.
Yeah, so I would give them the details about, because I don't know where we're supposed to meet and what time.
Perfect. So the meetup is basically just going to be you guys moving from here to the location. It's very shortly after you plan to kind of get engaged here. There's probably some time for you to kind of schmooze your new contact here. I presume that food is probably offered, in a light variety. Not like crazy big heist mode, but some snacks or what have you. And you would notice that El Mano and more than likely Cryptid are probably very much availing themselves of that. And then as you kind of muster the crew, you also give a location. It's an overpass, a foot traffic overpass, over a small 2-lane road, just in it's technically Vista Del Rey, but it's also kind of a part of city center, so it's like right on the line. In fact, it's so right on the line that prime time. You live here, and this is where this is happening. So it's like maybe 6 or 7 blocks away from your house or your apartment building, the apartment patrol.
Gotcha.
With that being said, how do you want to arrive at the location? Are we going in the truck? It can fit everybody. Elmano might need to squat a little bit, but yeah, everybody could get in the truck if you wanted to take them that way. Or
Try to stuff as much food in my coat pockets as I can. Like,
for sure.
I just
man,
have
I live off of
kibble.
kids' snack packs of kibble, so like, this is.
As soon as you guys finish, another one is just offered to you. Like it's unending hamburgers, cheeseburgers, whatever.
Man, this is gonna weigh me down.
I don't have pockets, so I just have like burgers in each hand.
Hold on though. This is a really interesting role playing opportunity. Cryptid kind of like you can see Hungry, and you know the feel, right? Like you've been here before. She's stuffing the food in her coat pockets, and then you bring out the other tray. She's like, "This is gonna weigh me down." What would Hungry say to her?
Nah, I don't think you gotta worry about that.
I'll keep feeding you if you keep working. Or some
In
shit.
respect, I'll be in control of what I do and do not worry about. And food is something I definitely worry about.
All right.
I tell you what, from here on out, anytime you feel hungry, you just come on by. I'll make sure you get fed.
See, we'll see.
So, food truck, we taking it up, or do you want to have because obviously you're used to crews having their own vehicles. You would come to find out that not a single one of these people has a vehicle.
What's the
Probably
establishment?
don't even have a license.
Go ahead.
What kind of
have a
building is
house.
it? What
Sorry,
kind
hold
of
on.
building is it? Is it like a clubhouse? Is it
Oh,
like a bar?
You're
What
going
is-
out. It's an outside meet. You're literally meeting on a footpath, like a foot path that is. It's like an overpass over like a street.
So, in public.
I'm gonna snap you to the map real quick. This is basically what the scene will look like.
Hmm.
And yes, the car's new. I'm really excited about it.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
That is really neat.
But-
Hey,
That's effectively where the meet's gonna happen.
can I steal this motorcycle?
Huh?
Nothing.
How they get their motorcycles up there?
I was like, can I steal that motorcycle?
Oh, you could try it. Yeah, sure.
I kind of feel like it would be a
Retail's
good
tired
idea.
of him to
Hold on,
take
hold on. Sorry.
I
Joe,
kind
what
of
were
feel
you
like
saying?
it might be a good idea to send Primetime and Cryptid out first, so Primetime can maybe get a look at what's going on, who Flasher might be with, like on the CCTVs around,
You got it.
and then Cryptid, can keep a lookout for him.
That's smart.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the two of you arrive on the scene prior through public transportation or dropped off by the truck. Either way, it's fine. We get there. From beneath the footpath, you can kind of see where the meetup point is, and you can see that a group of individuals is already kind of amassed up there. There seem to be two methods of getting up on one on either side of the road. Basically, it's like a 2-story staircase that goes up, footpath across, 2-story footpath down or up, depending on what side of you're starting on. And then it looks like the footpass's bridge actually structures out to either side and connects to the buildings, and then kind of runs alongside of those as kind of like additions to the sides of the building that allow for you to kind of walk around to the outside of the building and enter in to the buildings at a higher than ground level method. So if you're walking and you want to go to your house on the other side of the street, you can just go up the stairs, cross the bridge, look up the path, and enter your apartment building. And it does look like the two buildings that you were effectively connecting on either side of this specific footbridge are residences. prime time, you fire up the virtue, and you're kind of like virtuality. You're kind of keeping an eye on stuff. You would notice that it seems that someone has already come into this space and shut down all of the closed circuits. The TVs have already been shut off. And you can tell that this is a recent activity just due to the latent kind of like netrunner traces that are present there. You would understand that this is not bad work, it's just quick work, and someone doesn't care, right? If someone's, catching on. But your assumption is that the netrunner who did this is present. You'd also detect, but not be able to interact with, a net architecture, which is basically like a net space, someone who's actually broadcasting like uh, effectively internet up on the footbridge. But again, you're not close enough unless you go directly underneath them, which again, your cyberdeck would allow you to tap into it. But you're pretty sure that like once you start connecting, it'll probably be seen as hostile, since that net architecture seems to be a floating architecture, or a floating neta, meaning that it's connected to somebody via deck or computer. That makes sense. That was a lot of nerdy shit I just said.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Have you played the video game?
Yeah, on launch.
Fair. So basically, it's like instead of there being like one internet, there are multiple little internets. And these are called net architectures. And so effectively
Is that
that,
the elevator or like the multiple floors?
yeah, that's right. And so she appears to have, I'm sorry, the individual present there, you'll find out she's a she, that they have a net architecture. But it seems that they're the ones who shut off all the cameras around here. So like they have already done the busy work of kind of making this an incognito meet.
It looks like they already took down the cameras, so we should have some privacy for a minute.
All right. Are you? Is that like are you relaying that back, or are you talking to Crypt?
Yeah, no, I'm relaying it back.
All right. The rest of us are on the way. We'll be there shortly.
Big red truck pulls up. You'd have to fit dropped off kind of on the side here. You'll note that there's kind of a decent amount of traffic here, but the traffic isn't the problem. The sidewalks are kind of like on the other side of pretty decent sized barricades, due to a lot of straight races that happen on this specific thoroughfare. You make your way up the way. Do you have Mac pull the truck around and come with you, or do you have him stay with the truck?
I can stay with the truck.
Max with the truck. He says he'll keep it running. And then you folks kind of gather on one side and make your way up the stairs. Chino will be there with you. And then the crew as follows. I'm going to play a music. As you kind of approach, you'll see that it looks like this specific little bit of thoroughfare looks like it's seen its rough bit of damage. It looks like there are barricades that have been put up and damaged, but you can also see that there are kind of traces of life like being more present here, like almost like someone was squatting here or sleeping here. Not familiar for Hungary. And you'd see that there's a barrel that looks like it's emitting heat and smoke. Standing near it is a man in a black trench coat. Underneath the trench coat, you can see what appears to be signs of a bodyweight suit. Prime time, if you're not familiar with that term, Daniel, bodyweight suit are what netrunners wear. He is wearing a pair of blacked out shades, and he just appears to be kind of very stern, focused, and when Hungry kind of makes it up onto the bridge, seems to just be watching Hungry like a hawk. Bear with me here. Miscellaneous. Flasher. That's what he looks like. Standing to his left are two individuals. One who you quickly identify Primetime as the net architecture's host. This is the source. This is their runner for reals. She appears to be wearing a coat not unlike the coat that her companion is wearing, and a bodyweight suit in a similar fashion. She has old-style virtuality goggles on, which were kind of like outdated, like soon after they were invented. Basically, it's like Google Glass, but like for net runners who can just have their eyes do that shit. And then next to her is a guy or girl or NB in like full armor with a Militech Ronin. The armor that they're wearing appears to be like high tier Metal Gear shit. Like they're not going to run very fast, but they could probably get shot by every single bullet you guys have on your person and still not feel it. Behind them and kind of seated at a barricade is a woman who looks like a street punk, street rat. She kind of has like, bag lady chic kind of clothing on, but you can see that she has kind of positioned near her on the barricade a pintle-mounted assault rifle. Looks like it's been kind of set up for purpose. And it looks like it could be swung to fire in on the bridge, but it's kind of currently pointed out towards the open air over the street. You approach. Do you send anybody in front of you to kind of like posture with them, or do you want to just be lead for your conversation here with Flasher? Hungry?
I'd stay out in front.
Okay. You folks follow behind. You look at the bikes that you pass by. Pretty nice bikes. You know that they're not like, shit road bikes. They're kind of, upper market, but like older. So nice, but not like insanely nice. Flasher walks out in front of his crew, walks up to you, Hungry, and says, "Pleasure to finally meet you in person," and outstretches his hand.
Yeah, he would return the handshake.
It's a pretty sturdy shake for the scrawnier looking guy who, looking at him, looks like he's quite well aged due to the way that aging kind of works in Night City and Cyberpunk world as a whole. You're kind of guessing that he could be anywhere between 40 and 100 because cybernetics. It definitely looks like he's had some work done. But again, what information you were able to pull, he's been at this since the time of the Red, so who knows how the fuck old he is. And he gives you a nod and he says, "I figured you're going to bring your crew just in case you had to zero my ass. I brought some folks too. I'm not here to start any turf wars. Glen is yours. Vista Del Rey is yours. You're making your moves, and I'm okay with that. This is me. I am kissing the ring in this, so to speak."
Yeah, I've never had any problems with the work you do, and I got no intention of stopping you putting food on your own plate.
I know someone who's trying to fuck with you, though. And I want to give you the information. I got a favor I gotta ask of you. Favor will come after I give you the info. And you can help me with this favor, or you can tell me to go fuck myself. Either way is fine.
Yeah, I'll write a favor for a favor. What is it you need done?
Me first. I'm telling you, and you can tell me whatever you want. You know a guy named Vernon Fisk?
Yeah.
Yeah, word on the
Yeah,
street is
familiar.
he's putting some folks on some lists and trying to move it outside of his own positioning, I guess. The word on the street is he had a fellow named Johann Yevnesky who lived over in a Connaught not too far from here. Had that motherfucker splattered by the boogeyman in Night City, something called Striga. You heard about that?
I think I do know that.
Yeah,
I do know Johan got fucking
obliterated.
Right.
You don't know who killed him. You just know he's dead.
Well, that's what happens when you get in business with corpos. Motherfuckers, they eat each other. They eat their young over there.
You're not wrong. And from what I understand, Vernon, he wants you eaten and anybody you're fucking with. And rumor has it The reason why is because he got jilted by a companion, so to speak. This is pretty fresh news. Like yesterday kind of news. He's got this thing, this Striga, kind of maneuvering itself around Night City. Keeping an eye out for anybody who's associated with a job that happened not too long ago. A job involving Kang Tao. One of their fighter jets crashed out in the Badlands. You know anything about that?
Yeah, I know a few things about it.
Well, rumors got it that you were the guy who did the job. Or somebody next to you, somebody close. Maybe that Johan guy. I don't know all the details. What I do know, Vernon wants to burn a lot of ground. And from what I'm hearing, some of that ground's got you on it.
Yeah, makes sense. Johan, the guy that used to work for him, ever since I got my name tangled up with him and that Fisk guy, I knew in the back of my mind he'd be a problem one day or another.
Yeah, that's why I don't fuck with Corpse ever. I mean, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I've tangled up with some corpos in the past. Well, anyway, keep an eye out. Watch your back. If you got any connects with Militech, dump them. And if you know anybody who's got contacts with Militech, you might want to give them a heads up. They might be on a list. If those names in that list ever comes to my table, I'll zip it over to you as quick as I can. Now, what I need done is a bit more complicated. I got a friend currently waiting on me. He says he'll wait on me for the rest of the evening up in the industrial side. Friend goes by the name Tilda. Tilda Sanguine. You ever heard of the Philharmonic Vampires?
Nah, I don't think so.
They're kind of underground. They're a poser gang. Not really, more of a prankster gang, right? They do some kind of artsy shit. But it's always like fucking with the corpos. Some elaborate type shit too. From what I was told, Hilda was saying that these folks got lots of tunnels underground. Lots of connects with other gangs. And they've had a problem recently with a gang called the Bozos. Apparently one of their tunnels got hijacked this last month by Bozos. Tunnel that used to run all the way out of Night City. My friend Tilda is waiting up in the industrial side for me to come out and help with the Bozos problem. Problem is, gestures to the guy in the Metal Gear armor, I only got one gunner. And it sounds like it's going to need a little bit more iron on site for it to be a nice and tidy situation. Bozos popping up everywhere. No problem. But you got the right high caliber ammunition. You know, Ned Runner who can frag someone's brain out. All this other type of shit. You might be in business. All I got here is Mover. And he's not going to be enough.
Mover, huh?
Nods his head. Yeah, he's an old solo. But, reliable. Trustworthy. Kind of shit I know you like.
Yeah. It's just funny, it's gotta be hard to move anyway with that suit of armor you got on.
You hear, like, echoing inside the helmet. You're not fucking lying.
Yeah, I think I can help you with your problem.
Alright. Well, I'll click you the deets and head on over there. Tilda, I would rather them not be costed. They're a little bit persnickety. Might be a bit they're kind of hard to talk to. They don't really talk like folk. You'll understand what I mean when you get the cut of their jib. But I know for certain that the other thing that they're worried about is their car. They got a nice new Herrera Outlaw. Cream ride. And apparently they're concerned about traveling through the industrial because those bozos running around with their clown cars and shit. So, all I want you to do, as my favor to you, me looking out for you, the new kingpin of the Glen, is you go on up there, help him out, get him out of there, bring him back this way, drop him off wherever you want in Vista Del Rey. I'll find him, and we're good. And I'll send Mover along with you. Is that all right?
I'm thinking logistics. I only have the truck, right?
Oh, Mover's got his own ride. He goes, nodding.
Yeah, we can make it happen. I appreciate you coming to me with this. It's not a surprise, but it is definitely news, and I'll be keeping a lookout.
One last piece of information too. Last time I got any eyes on the Striga was my contact with the Tiger Claws. I believe a friend of yours, mutual, Koga. He said that him and his crew had a bit of a kerfuffle with some cyberpunk, some real edge runner types, mostly nomads, and well, that Striga was pretty close to the situation they were dealing with them regarding some guy named G. I don't know the details on that, but I can get them up for you if you want.
Yeah, it'd be good to know.
I guess one last question. He opens up his coat, and you can see that there are like 10 pockets on either side. Each one has a pistol in it with ivory like handles. And he says, anybody interested in some teen dreams? I've been trying to unload these things for a while.
Not a gun guy. Sorry.
Food or guns?
I mean, cereal's been cleared. Totally off the books.
What are you asking for him?
He shakes his head. Well, that's no way to start a conversation. What are you willing to pay for one?
I'll give you 10 eddies.
Shit, I wouldn't wipe my ass with 10 of these for one. 20, though. I'll do 20.
I don't even know how many I have. Where's my inventory?
So,
I haven't looked at this extensively.
Primetime, I'm assuming you're not much of a gun guy.
Nope, I'm good.
Riff, you know how guns work. But not a gun guy. Redtail, not a gun guy. Cryptid, also
the only
money.
one I like. I got it already.
But Hungry, as a salesperson, Teen Dreams are kind of old hat, like pretty poor quality SMGs. However, they're interesting in that they keep shooting until they stop shooting. Right? Like they are like normally when you auto fire like a SMG, like it will stop firing if you don't have enough ammunition to like do the auto fire alternate. Teen Dream don't care. Teen Dream will. You can have 2 bullets left in the fucking chamber. It will continue to shoot somehow, destroying itself. But
On toggle.
it will keep going. But yeah, 20 eddies and you can buy one.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to pass on that one these days.
Yeah, no shit. He closes his book.
I don't suppose you take dreams and prayers, do you?
I'm trying to sell dreams. Teen dreams. These things are
I
garbage.
don't.
I mean, what the fuck was I thinking buying a case of guns made by Goodnight Meow Meow? What the fuck?
I mean, I found 20 eddies on the ground earlier.
Do you hand him 20 eddies?
I was like, I'll take one.
He hands you a teen dream. I will add it to your character sheet. He says,
And it's literally like in the palm of his hand.
It's
He's
tiny.
like
Hands
holds
it
it out to
Hands it.
Cryptid. Here.
"Oh, you give it to Cryptid?"
Yeah,
I'll take a cheeseburger out of my coat and hand it to you. It's a fair trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
This is the barter system.
Best friends already.
I have added the teen dream to your character sheet. I believe it's your only weapon.
What am I gonna do? Throw it at someone? Like I'm fucking.
It'd probably do more damage.
Yeah, it will still break, but it would do more damage. Okay, so after your illicit street deal, I'm gonna move us back to fucking shit. Come on, computer. Don't be a silly Billy.
So, just so
Yeah.
I'm thinking right, the job he was mentioning with the tiger claws, that was the one that I was with Cam, right?
Yeah, and the tunnel he
Okay.
mentioned was the tunnel that if El Mono was a smart person would have recognized as.
Oh no.
With the cyber
Yeah, no, he picked up on that. He was like, ugh.
Bozo.
Like when they started mentioning the bozos.
He's just
like,
not much of a talker.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So Night City map, zip, and
Figures other people have better things to say than him, so he just watches.
for sure. This will be up in the industrial zone, and I've moved the yellow box up there. So it's a small little area. It's basically an industrial kind of like structure. I believe it has to do with it's relatively close to the processing plant for Chutu that Petrochem has on site, but or Biotechnica, one of those two. There's two of them, and they're really close to each other. But this is kind of like on the outskirts of the processing plants for that, and it's kind of this. It's almost like an electrical kind of industrial zone that you'll be going to. It's actually a little bit further north. Sorry. There it is. I just realized it's the wrong parking lot. Okay. So, with that, truck, everybody going. Big man in the armor moves surprisingly quicker than you anticipated, at least movement speed-wise. And he does not take one of the two bikes. Instead, the two ladies move to the bikes after dismantling the assault rifle and kind of like getting themselves gathered up. And you'll see that when they start to ride, the girl in the bag, Chic, she rides with Flasher, riding. Again, I don't know if this term is technically correct, but riding bitch. And then the Netrunner, she rides her own
That
bike.
is in fact the technical term.
Is
yeah.
that the technical
Yes.
term? Is that how? Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, he is
Yep.
riding bitch, and the Netrunner.
Passenger or anything couldn't
Yep.
possibly be.
And we're banned on Twitch.
And we're banned. we got canceled again. Riding backpack. Okay, so that could work too.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't know who.
It was
Even
mean
though
bad.
it was a backpack in the last game. It was Zip's backpack.
Yeah, that's a hell of a backpack.
Heavy duty.
For sure.
Got a lot of cheeseburgers in it.
But Mac will have the truck going for you. The guy in Metal Gear Armor, when he gets to ride, he has a tricycle, or a three-wheeler. Tricycle is probably not the correct term. Like a three-wheeler.
Trike.
a trike, and it looks like it is pretty well polished and nice, and it also looks like it has kind of a strange situation on its back end, where it looks like it can flip down into the side to form a kind of like small sidecar. A weird sidecar position. So, you lot drive on up to the spot, unless you have anything else you want to do before then, Hungry or Crew.
No, just on the way up there, Riff will message Hungry, telling him like through the agent that he's pretty sure he was part of the job that the person mentioned that the Striga thing was, and he'd give him like just a TLDR of that job.
The main point there that I want to stress is Bucket, a tech who I don't think you've worked with yet, Hungry. Have you played with Chandler, Joe?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So Bucket, a tech you don't know, that seems to be in good with Mooney and might have connections to Militech, but not like, he's not a Corbo, just like, he's done work for them. This guy had on his tech scanner images of what others were calling, at least what Riff overheard, the Striga. And they were very scared of it. He remembers Mooney being like terrified of it. Or no, sorry,
In said
Bucket.
message,
Bucket being terrified of it.
yeah, and in said message, Riff will mention how it followed him, so he's pretty sure it's his biggest fan.
Yeah, Striga is Riff's biggest fan.
I think Omana would mention fighting bozos in a tunnel. I don't think he's necessarily connected that the tunnel he fought in is the tunnel that they're talking about.
So this is very important, and we can work it through conversation that's actually had like in genuine, or we can do the bits and pieces, and I can ask you if certain things are mentioned. How would you like to play it?
Okay.
Because I just love Joe talking as Hungry, and it's my favorite, so we can do that. But if you want me
Yeah.
to, okay, go ahead. So
Fine.
tell him what you.
Well, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got into it with some bozos yesterday in a tunnel.
What was that all about? You on a job, working with
Yeah.
somebody?
Yeah, I was on a job. It was out. What was it? It's out on a farm thing, and they had like people faces in bags, and we went inside and there was a tunnel downstairs and there was some bozos there. I was just there to but is that what they were talking about?
Sounds like it could be.
Oh.
What was the job that you were doing? What was
Oh,
why were you out there?
We were retrieving company property of some sort. I don't pay attention. I got some good food out of it, but it was really weird. They had like like people in bags, and then there was like this lady. She was kind of crazy, and then like 5 or 6 bozos, and they were in this tunnel under the facility, or maybe it was behind. I just followed them in there and started punching, but yeah.
Well, good. You got some experience with what I think we're about to walk into.
Okay.
Who were you doing the job for? Who hired you?
I think it was Miss Letty.
Red tails,
Yeah.
your ears perk up.
Oh, hold on. Hungry human perception roll, and Red Tail. If you're trying to hide that fact, you can roll a dice, but I don't think you are because you mentioned it.
No.
Okay. and Primetime, the name Miss Letty is said, and you'll see Hungry's demeanor kind of go from like inquisitive to kind of like locked in. Like literally, it's like just in. He is in. He's focused. That would probably cause you to think about like the name that was mentioned. Do you want to do some research on that while you're in the truck heading on to where you're headed?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you can go ahead and make a library search roll. And then what did you get on that human perception, Joe?
18.
It was just regular perception. But I think your human
Oh.
perception's better. It's in
Sorry, I was
social.
looking.
Yeah, it's 2 higher. So
Yeah,
it'd
so
be a
20. So you notice that Redtail takes note of the name Miss Letty, and you think back to what you remember from Redtail's kind of like dossier that you had effectively, and you remember that he was kind of pulled off warrant list by an exec, and then you remember that the exec was a part of the O and I or I and O department, which is information and optics, which you know Letty is a part of. So your assumption is that there's a connect, Redtail and Letty. You don't know if it's a good connect or a bad connect. You just know that there's a connect. It seems that Redtail's aware of that name. And then Daniel, to help you out, under education, there will be tabs at the top.
I found it.
Okay.
It's just moving super slow.
Yeah, so you just do some like very quick kind of notations, and you are able to find several pieces of information on an individual named Letty, or rather, Violetta is her government name. Her last name is never referenced, though, which is pretty common in corpo situations. She's a part of the corporation Biotechnica, which Biotechnica specializes in Chu2, which is a replacement fuel substance that was created in alternate universe. It's basically algae that can go into gas vehicles and operate as gasoline, with less
Right.
run and less burn. And then you'd also know that like Biotechnica does a lot of the food processing. They grow proteins in protein farms, which is probably what Elmano is talking about. These farms. And basically the flats all the way to the south. If you look at the big map like that we're on, and you see a bunch of white fucking squares in the bottom left corner, those are all the protein farms that are owned by Biotechnica. So to give you an idea of how much a mega corporation Biotechnica is and how important it is to Night City's running, I think that just real estate alone should kind of give you an idea as to how fucking important they are. Not to mention other shit that happens under their watch. I mentioned that they have two processing plants up here in the industrial zone. They're kind of a big deal. The only one that stands like in just sheer measure of space to Biotechnica would be Arasaka. So what you would know about Letty from your library search is that she is part of information and optics, which is basically like PR, but also kind of like a counterintelligence. You don't know her, but you are able to, with that library search, get her contact information if in the future you would want to get in contact with her for any reason. Open-ended
Okay.
as fuck. That's the way we like Cyberpunk. And then Joe, with your human perception, as I mentioned, you know the connect between Redtail and there's something there. Okay.
I imagine since you're since you're sitting there with me, you guys were able to complete the mission successfully.
Yeah. Yeah.
By any
Yeah.
chance, did you get a look at the company property that you was retrieving?
No, I think they had they no. I'm sorry.
No.
I think they just also just wanted those bozos out of their facility.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense.
Were you gonna say something, Foxy?
So you mentioned people in bot bags.
She did. Oh, sorry, he did. Elmano did mention people in flat bags.
Yeah.
And
It's
Tyler,
like
if
a
you aren't
lady.
familiar with, if you didn't catch that session, you would know that a very popular rumor in Night City is that Biotechnica grows proteins through protein farms. Um, there are some people who believe that to make up for the deficiency in capacity in feeding all of Night City, they sometimes will make scop out of people. But it's a rumor. There is no confirmation that that's the case. And it's also why some people avoid low grade pre-pack and kibble because it's protein that's made of parsons, is the theory.
I won't deny it.
I definitely want to learn more about this. As someone who lives off kibbles.
Do you start recording at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, I probably record many conversations that are going on tonight.
Primetime, I need you to give me a cyber tech roll. You're the only person who would be able to catch it. It is very subtle. Very, very subtle, which is why the DV is going to be a total of 20.
All right, let me find it.
So that'll be under tech, the tech tab, and then it'll be cyber tech. Perfect. So you didn't hit the DV, so you don't notice it. Yeah. Cryptid starts recording. Nobody catches wise. Okay. Soon enough, the big red truck moves and comes to a place where it gets close to the stop. I didn't have a good scan of the big red truck. I will get one. So right now it's kind of off the grid there. You can see red truck thing there at the bottom. Up ahead, Mac will point out that there's a nice, brand new, gorgeous looking Herrera Outlaw, which is kind of a supercar, a very fancy ride. It has all the bells and whistles, Militech Crystal Dome, which means it doesn't have windows, it just has metal sheets that have television screens effectively on the insides. Very fancy fucking car. So fancy, Primetime, you would note that it has its own net architecture. So it is a car that can be hacked into, which is fun. And standing not too far from it, next to some barrels, is a person. Definitely gives a silhouette of like a dancer or like oh god, what the hell is the name? Dean Martin. Kind of like an old timey kind of like on the stage kind of like person, and they are wearing a very nice looking suit. Bear with me here, and a fedora, and they're smoking a cigarette. Uh, Based on everything you know about Tilda Sanguine, Hungry, this is them.
All right. Go ahead and pull on up.
Oh my god. I want to give this character a voice so bad.
Oh, we'll get there. Chino will stay in the vehicle, unless you want him to come out, and then the rest of the crew will
That's
kind of
fine.
roll out with you.
I would, once everybody's rolled out, I would approach. Hilda,
Yeah, that's me. Who are you?
I'm hungry. Flash has sent me.
Flasher, huh? Okay, well, good. Good to see that pervert's not good for nothing. He said he was going to send a crew. The trike will pull up, and the solo will get out as well. Slightly behind everybody else, but there. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll just head on out of here. My car's not doing so great though. I'm not much of a car person. Can you maybe one of you folks any good under the hood?
You want the hood taken off?
Tilda just kind of like
I
mouth
think
wide
that's
open, just
exactly what they're asking for. Yeah.
looks at Elmano. No, wait. And when Cryptid like pipes in, no, 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 not no,
Oh,
no. I don't want that. The resale value go right in the shitter.
okay.
I was looking for something a little bit more nicer, or
I think you're looking for maybe something Primetime might be able to do.
uh, are you a tech?
I mean, I could poke around in there, see what I can find.
For a
Okay.
tech bro to work.
Different kind of tech. But if you start scanning it, go ahead and make an interface roll. So if you scroll past the skills, you'll see the interface roll ability should have a rollable option for it. Okay, so you just fumbled. So what happens in this moment as you kind of start to try and get into the system is you realize it's locked out, which means that the corporation that owns, or sorry, the corporation that sold this individual this vehicle has decided that they don't want it to be driving around anymore, and they have locked the car out. When you try to enter into the net architecture, it starts blaring sirens and the lights start flashing on it, making a very loud noise out here in the industrial zone. And it's just like, brah, brah, brah. Everyone that is not
Can
prime
I
time,
punch it?
go ahead and make a perception roll. Because obviously, the first thing that happens when sound is like with you is who the fuck is looking in?
Perception or human perception?
Regular perception. It'll be under awareness.
Okay.
Red tail, super perceptive. Okay. Tilda moves up to like the car, kind of looking at Primetime, like trying to like sway him into stopping. And right as he comes to this point, Redtail, you being kind of further in the back, see a red dot appear on the side of their head. What would you like to do in response? You're muted.
I was gonna shout, "Get down!"
Okay. That will be efficient. Okay. So, does everybody heed Redtail's response or
Oh
warning?
yeah, I'm gonna hit that pavement.
Okay. You hear a
Tuck behind
loud shot ring out. Everybody ducks
I would
down.
I would move actually towards Hungary.
Okay. And what do you do when you get close to Hungry?
Like move him so that he's between me and the car. Like
Oh,
if I can, or like
okay.
he's
So
not.
Hungry.
Just bear hug that.
I want to stress this as delicately as I can, so that you do not feel like a toy in this. But Elmano, even though you are the size that you are, Hungry,
Yeah.
Elmano can just pick you up like a toddler and move you to the car, like where Elmano wants to put you. They have a body of 14. It's happening, right?
Hell
Do
yeah.
you resist?
No.
Okay, so you feel like taken off of your feet and move very quickly and down towards the side of the car as a bullet rings out. In the flash that this happens during, you see Tilda's hat fly off of the top of their head as they like hit the pavement, like full flat, like a bit of their spittle kind of like jutting out onto the dirty concrete in front of them. And the only person who sees where it came from is Redtail. All the way across the field here, all the way across this structure, over by these barrels, you see a fucking clown.
Oh,
She is holding an Ashura rifle, which is basically a tech rifle, and is in a perfect position where the shot would have gone in between these mechanisms here, through the windows, to hit Tilda. Like they were waiting for that moment. In response to that, you hear a loud screeching sound tires as they hit a tight turn, and you see what appears to be a massive Militech van. Well, not massive, just a small Militech van pull up onto this kind of industrial side here. Before you roll initiative, if anybody has, oh God, I think it's business. If anybody has business or would like to make a business roll, you can't. DB is, I'd say 13 on this.
Where would that be?
Business is under
Not that-
education.
Not that I have any.
The tab
business
that's
rolling a
least used
business
by
roll.
Almano. I got an
Same,
education
Almano,
of
same.
2. Everybody has an
Not my
education of 2.
my strength.
Hungry. The Militech van that just pulled up is like 15 years old. There's no way that this is a Militech
fuck
van
it, we'll roll.
that is currently being utilized by actual Militech people. Okay.
Is Tilda dead? Was that like a headshot dead?
Say that again?
Is Tilda dead? I mean, you said
No. Took the hat off. Okay. Yeah. The only
He's
reason
my warrior and started going down.
the only reason they're alive is because someone called it out. So
nice.
the roll definitely saved their life. Yeah. So Psych, you also recognize that there's no fucking way Militech would be using a ride that old. Like that shit is 2060s, like pre-unification war garbage. It's not even armored. It's a piece of shit. But with that, you see it pull up, and in the very beginning of the combat, like the round before we start rolling here, which is what you're doing right now, to roll initiative, all you have to do is select your token, make sure it's high, like selected, then go into your character sheet and click the big word initiative at the top, and that will put your token on the tracker. Dan, I see that you clicked initiative but didn't add it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a turn, and then I'm going to click on your token and change it. In the future, if you do that, you can roll a second time after selecting your token, and then go into the initiative tracker on the side, and you can change the number in there to whatever it needs to be, so whatever the first roll would be. Okay?
John, can I have control of my token, please?
Do you not?
I do not.
What?
No, you may
You're not selected.
not.
The fuck?
No self autonomy in this game.
I'm just gonna stand here by the car the whole time.
This is strange.
Rito's gonna blend in with the food
I'm
truck.
gonna blend in with the food truck. Just
What if
stand
I
here.
told you
I'll save you if you guys get killed. Have fun.
there is another
Gets back in the
character
truck.
in this named Redtail from the 2045 shit? That's funny.
Say what?
Yeah, there was apparently a medtech in 2045 named Redtail, and the
Hey,
token
it
could
was
be
me
used
the
for
whole
them.
time. It was me the whole time. I just went and got it. Exotic
Oh no, that
package.
means you'd be like 70 years
I'm
old.
like 99 years old. Don't worry about it.
Redtail.
Apology, man.
Yeah.
It's my uncle.
Delete.
Hey, Violet.
Sell the
Took
people
down.
pack.
And then
Ew.
NPC. Dossier.
Wait, so I had control of some random.
Archive item. Close. Select. Redtail.
Wet spot on shoulder.
Yeah. Hit point. That is so. I did not know that was even. Because they had luck, so most NPCs don't, right? And I was like, okay, well, that's weird, but there it goes. Maybe, Redtail had a second copy.
My guardian angel.
Okay, how about now? Can you move the token?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about the cat.
Yeah, but
Everybody on the initiative track?
Don't
Apologize.
him.
Gotta roll initiative. 14.
Okay, so in those very first seconds that happen as the car pulls up and everybody's pulled out their weapons and prepared themselves for combat, you would see that the Militech van is a bustle of movement as, like a clown car, a bunch of fucking clowns pop out. Bozos. For sure. And combat music. Probably. Maybe.
Benny Hill theme.
Yeah.
Please play the combat music. Don't tell me you're. Is it?
Oh, I hear something.
That's not the one I want though. I want this one. I think.
How big is each square in Cyber?
2 meters. It should be, if you take your ruler on the left side and select it, you should be able to drag it. Also, another note for movement is if you pick up your token and you're holding the left click, and then you move it to a space where you want to find out how far it is, and then move it there, don't let go of left click, and then hit right click, it'll draw a ruler line for you. Make sense?
General
it does.
movement
Say
speed.
that one more time.
That's
If
cool.
you select a token and like pick it up, like with the left click, and then while holding left click, move it to a space you want it to go, don't let go of left click and then hit right click. It'll create a line between your token and where you're going.
Movement speed is under your statistic, bottom row center.
Yep, and also for simplicity's sake, your movement speed will also be on your token when you select it. It'll be the one in a green circle.
Okay.
Any questions other than what's been put out? Okay.
If I have a 4 move, how many meters is that?
So it's for the purposes of the game. The specific wording is you can move a number of meters equal to your movement times 2. The squares are 2 meters. You can move a number of squares equal to your movement score. It's easier to just your movement equals number of spaces you can go.
Yeah.
Riff, you are first on the docket. Like I mentioned, a bunch of fucking clown people jump out of the Militech van up there at the top. This space here, and I didn't show you this. I'll show you it so we have a bit more of a mental image of what we're fucking with here. I was dealing with the red tails shenanigans. Sorry, that was not anything that could have ever been anticipated, by the way. For fuck's sake.
Gods.
Earlier, I've been dealing with a lot of like weird coincidences today. It's been kind of wild. But this is what it looks like from above, right? If you're looking at it, you see how there is the barrels on the left side? That's where the bozos are coming from. Then you can see that this kind of structure here that I'm flashing is actually this kind of little like corrugated steel building, and then you're parked on the other side of that building. Make sense?
Yeah, that's so cool.
All right. Yeah, these maps have been an absolute blessing. Solution, I believe it's spelled with a 0 instead of an O. Maps, very great for Cyberpunk people running Cyberpunk. They give you everything you'll ever need for the maps. But yeah, the window's broken. You can go into that space all you like, but again, it's still a whole ass building for cover purposes. Riff, you're first on the docket, and I forgot to click the music that I was clicking. Is that the one I want? Why is it so quiet?
It's been a long time. I'm gonna have to ask a lot of questions.
That's okay. We got new folks here. I figured that was a pretty good way of doing it. Riff, you're first on the docket. Let's go, pro.
Yeah. Riff is going to use his move to get over to the building.
Mm-hmm. You keeping low?
Kind of get right there. Yeah, trying to not get near a window.
Yep.
And he'll just have his pistol out, ready to fire.
Okay. So you're readying a shot if something comes into like close range. Is that fair?
Yeah. Like basically, if someone comes around, like if a clown comes around this corner in close range,
or like here on the side of the window, like because you're kind of close to.
Yeah. Anywhere I could reasonably shoot them with my pistol.
Dope. Red tail.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess.
You know, I don't like this combat music either.
Why?
Sorry, I'm just having. It's very hard for me to decide what the Bozo's combat music should be. One day I'm gonna get it. It's not that one. Maybe this one? Okay, this is alright. For now. Red tail, you move to the other side of the vehicle. Are you going over it or around it?
around it,
Okay.
around the backside of it.
Yep. It is still blaring, and the lights are still flashing near it. If you attempt to shoot, before you shoot, you'll have to make a concentration roll because of the problems that are happening there.
It's good. I'll stop right there. I can't
Okay.
do anything right now.
All right.
Actually, I will. I'm gonna start charging my pistol.
Okay. Well, charging a pistol's move action, but I'll allow it.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
The pistol roll should have changed. I don't know if I knew you had a tech pistol.
Yeah.
Tech pistols don't do extra damage. They go through walls now.
The Omaha.
Yeah. Elmano.
All right.
The Omaha might be fine, actually. I think it's supposed to 3-shot burst on that. Go ahead, Elmano.
Yeah, it's a 3-shot
see.
burst.
Yeah.
And this part in the middle that's sunken down, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And then
All the way across the field. I just have to run there, right?
yeah.
It just barrels through the building.
It's just like
really?
last time.
Smash clowns.
All right. So he can. What is it? Dash, run. What is it?
Run. So
Okay.
you will move double your movement.
4, 5, 7, 8. Hmm, 14. Oh, this could be bad. Oh, he's gonna run to there.
Okay.
And then like hide behind the barrels a little, like as much as a 7-foot tall man can hide behind freaking barrels,
For sure.
and kind of ready himself. Like if anyone comes down, obviously they're fucked. But like
Okay.
to run at them the next turn.
So I assume he kind of baseball slides, like kind of power slides over that direction, and then kind of like does it on the side of his body that's not the one that got like completely
Yep.
creamed by the
Yep.
asphalt earlier today. And
Yep.
then like once they're kind of like, wincing a little bit, like but like laying down effectively in that spot. That works for me.
Yeah.
Hungry,
Yeah.
you're up.
Can you move again as an action?
So yeah,
Is it-
it's the action is called run, and what it means is you just take double your move, unless you're running in a straight line. If you're running in a perfectly straight line with no like terrain problems, you move 4 times your speed.
Okay. Actually, I can't do that because what I want to do is I want to come over here and I want to pick Tilda up.
Uh-huh.
So I guess that would be my action.
Yeah.
The rest of my action towards the truck.
Okay. You have Tilda.
Set him on his feet, or at least start to tell him to get his ass in the truck, and then
Okay.
yell, "Gino, get your ass out here!"
Chino pops out, gets ready to load Tilda into the truck. Now you'll notice that they weigh maybe 110, 120 pounds, but like it's a good amount of like it's not like it's not like cryptid, right? It's not like bony. It's more kind of like
It's not like a
corded.
bird.
Yeah. It feels muscular, right? This person obviously, does perform. So like you can kind of feel like they probably could have got up on their own, but they're happy for the exchange here.
Tilda, I mean, yeah, I would also tell Mac to keep this one. Yeah.
Say this
If things keep him safe, things go south, get to the drop off.
is the job. Okay. So it has it as Meridia on there on the token. I'll change that, but Cryptid, you're up.
Here we go. Well, we are here to do an information exchange. So I'm gonna stick with what's this guy's name again? Tilda.
Yeah.
We're just gonna kind of put myself over here, and I guess I'll hold an action for when I feel like somebody gets in range of a pistol.
Okay. And you pull out the gun you just got.
The handgun.
The
Yep.
T3. Okay. The sniper's red line kind of moves through the space, and you can see it kind of wobbling through that area. And then you can hear the clowns kind of like whooping and hollering. and you hear a voice kind of rise up above the rest that says, ladies and gentlemen, you're here to see a big ass stupid fucking fixer get put on a spike. And everyone on that side, kind of like from their whooping and harling, starts cheering and clapping. And you then hear gunfire, just random and unadulterated, slamming into the corrugated building. Bear with me here. Suppressive. Okay, so Elmano, Redtail, and also Riff. They are performing a function known as suppressive fire. I need the two of you, since you're already in cover, I'm going to go ahead and say you have +5 to the roll. But go ahead and make a concentration roll. Concentration should be under body.
Under awareness.
Is that under awareness? Okay, awareness then. Okay, the DV was 12, which everybody passed, even without the modifier. Okay, so effectively what's happening is bullets are hitting the corrugated metal, and you're kind of dropping down, kind of keeping low, as like holes are being punctured through the space. And then for the barrels, Magpie, Elmano's kind of down, and they're hitting the lid and popping stuff out. And surprisingly, like, liquid doesn't start splaying out or anything, it's just sand that starts pouring out of the containers. And I need you to make a resist torture and drugs real quick.
A what?
So this one is under body, I'm pretty sure. Resist torture drugs. Okay. So the sand that's kind of hitting the ground, the sand that's kind of hitting the ground has kind of like a sparkly color to it. Elmano is a street kid, so I think Elmano is familiar with what glitter is. But the barrels that you're near are apparently full to the brim with it.
We're gonna need those barrels when we leave.
You see Brent go.
Red Tails looks over too.
You see Rip who's underneath, like, I smell drugs. Red Tail's like, you too? Oh, I've got a canine nose. I can smell real good. Okay, that's it for them. It does seem like the red marker, by the way, is the sniper trying to, like, connect the dots when somebody moves. So they're readying a shot. Primetime, you're up.
All right. A couple questions about that vehicle.
Yes.
With the business knowledge, do I know if it has like a net architect like on it on the Militech vehicle?
That's what the old Militech one.
Yes.
Great question. It does have what's called a computer bus, which is basically a limited meta. So it has two functions: start and stop, which is one function, and then initiate auto drive, which basically takes it to a set location. The location could be programmed through, but it's going to require you to sync with it. So I would say from your current position, yeah, you could get eyes on the truck, or the van rather. And then action 1 would be jacking in.
Correct.
It does not have a required bypass. It doesn't have a password or anything. So jacking in is just the action. It will require no roll. And then once in, again, you can turn it on or off. It's currently on, so you could only turn it off. Or you can send it to either the auto location, which appears to be Militech headquarters downtown, or you can try and input a separate location. So if you just want to send it on its way, that will be one more net action. Again, the meat action is fuck around with the cyber deck, right? Then you have half. So 2 net actions that you can take. So net action 1's jack in, right? Is that what you're reading?
I mean, so you either take a meat or net action, and I should have 3 net actions.
3 net actions. Okay. Again, it's been a while since I've played with a runner. So yeah, 3 net actions. Net action 1 would be jack in. Net action 2 could be on, off, or send to location. If you want to, I forget what the name of the rewrite is, but basically alter the status of it, you could change where it goes to somewhere else. That would be the middle action, and then send it. Make sense?
Yeah,
Lord,
which is
great
it should be control. I would
Control.
think
Yeah,
would be that.
that's correct. So
Or
the only roll that you need to make in this instance would be control to try and change where it goes.
yeah, so that's what I'd like to do. I'm gonna jack into it.
Interface is the roll that you need to roll for the control option to change its ultimate destination. And where would you like to send the van? I can bring up the map of Night City again if you want.
I honestly just wanted to drive directly forward.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So do you want it to come to you? Is that fair?
Sorry, gotta move my character sheet, but yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay.
Other car.
Go ahead and make an interface roll. The interface DV here is going to be pretty simple. Like I said, it's old tech, so your cyber deck is literally ripping it apart. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. DV is going to be 5. So go ahead and roll interface, and I believe you just need to roll anything but a 1. Nailed it. Okay, so on the car's turn, which again is when the bozos arrived, it is going to drive at its fullest capability towards your location on what are considered roads. So it's going to go straight forward, past Elmano onto this thing, and then turn right. Okay? And again, these are about
Sounds good.
1.5 second rounds. You can still move if you'd like. Do you want to just stay below the car that you're near?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And yeah, you would note that the security on this thing is pretty good. So it's probably got decent armor itself. You said
Sounds good.
what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I need to stay jacked in to keep controlling it? So
Correct.
There's no reason to jack
Yeah.
out.
So
Yeah,
well, actually, technically no, but jacking out will be another action. So your actions. Let me summarize it for you. Jack in. Control to change the target location. Activate using control without interface roll to move it where it needs to go. Make sense? So that would have been your
Yeah.
3 net actions. During the next turn,
we're
you
good.
jack out and go. Yep. Rip.
Yeah, so somebody came around the corner. Riff will
Why are you pinging that guy? He's your
Slow.
friend.
Yeah, what's he doing
Oh,
during the first round of initiative?
yeah, no,
Same
he's
with Tilda.
he's basically running D. He's here for Tilda, so he's got the gun out and he's looks like he's on the ready, but he's not running out getting himself killed or anything. The guy wears fucking Metal Gear armor. He's not a superhero. He's very much a coward.
Go get shot at. What is that armor for?
To protect the job, Tilda needs to get in the goddamn truck, and we need to roll.
yeah, Riff will run up to like the corner here and try to take a shot at this clown right here.
Okay. Headshot or never mind, you already shot it. So
yeah, just shot.
what do we got
Let's
on
see, how
distance?
far am I? 12?
So 15 was the required. You got it. So hits him in the chest. Bear with me. Okay. He, like the other bozos, is not wearing armor. So that goes all to him, and it looks like it will seriously injure him. He is not down, or he's not dead, but he's definitely not in a good way. Okay. Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
I'm gonna say because of your position, that will not pop you for the sniper shot. Red Tail, you're up.
I want to toss a smoke grenade
Okay.
Around the corner. So it's like right there.
Okay. So that will pop you out to kind of get it around the corner because there's nothing to bank it off of. That
I'll just
would-
have like right here, like literally around the
Oh,
corner.
okay,
like,
okay.
One of these boxes.
Cool. Smoke.
Um,
And I believe this will be 5 foot square
Let me read it.
or 5 wide square. When using this ammunition, you deal no damage. Obscures a 10 meter by 10 meter, so 5. Yeah, for 1 minute. Okay. I'll draw it. Go ahead and ruler to the location you wanted it to center on. Okay. All right. Two, three, 4, 5.
I know.
Okay, so that area in the yellow square is now obscured with smoke. The canister kind of hits, you see it spin, and then jet outwards, filling the area with smoke cloud. That's your action. Red tail done. El Mano, you are up. You can hear them getting close. Do you pop your head up to see how far away they are?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a shot. Bear with me here. It was definitely a question asked in malice.
Well, it's just because you know you're gonna die soon. I don't.
So as you pop your head up, a bullet comes razoring past you. You see it kind of cleave the top of the barrel, like clean up, and just like a bunch of the glitter comes flying past it. It's like sparkles, like somebody threw confetti across the room. But it doesn't do any effect to you. It doesn't hit you. You can go ahead and take your turn.
Okay. I would like to take 2 handfuls of glitter
Yeah,
and just run at these clowns and like activate the
berserk. Activating
Yeah.
the berserk's the action. Okay,
yeah.
and then you're gonna move up
And then
to them.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Probably gonna die, but whatever.
We'll see.
Alright. We're gonna go there.
All right. All right, hungry. You have passed off Tilda to Chino. Chino on this initiative will move Tilda into the van or into the food truck.
From any of the windows that are on this side of the shed, can I get line of sight to like these guys back here? Or are they all behind?
I
all
would say
sorts
if
of
you
stuff?
move here, you'd have clear line of sight on them.
Beware the laser line.
Pretty much.
It's been a long time. How if I'm going to try to shoot a grenade launcher, how would I know what the DB is going to be? at,
Sure.
like, this
If you want to go
meters?
a test run, go ahead and click the grenade launcher. This is not your role, but it'll explain everything to you just so you can see.
Okay.
We won't
Well,
count
fuck
it.
it. And I'm going to activate the Sand Devastation,
Okay.
which will make me go on a 16 from now on. But first move action, I'll move my 4 to here, and I'm gonna shoot the grenade launcher twice, aiming right there.
Okay.
The middle guy.
Heavy weapons is already keyed into the grenade launcher, so click it. Okay. Let's look at range. 34
Oh, no.
meters. So we're looking for a DV 17. You have a rocker boy. Luck can be spent after the roll is made. And the rocker boy, for any luck that you're spending, counts as 2. The current roll on the table is 10. This is kind of a communal thing. Luck can normally, if you don't have a rocker boy, house rules by the way, normally can be spent before a roll is made and can be spent by the whole crew, right? Like if you see your friends trying to like really help one out for the team, that's the time to go. Rocker boys don't have a lot of elements in the core rules that kind of help with a lot of the other shit people are doing. So I just figured they're like the bards of the group, so make them such. So if you'd like, you can spend luck after the roll is made when you have a rocker boy on your crew. So currently the value is 10. The DV is 17, which means we need a result of 18. Does anybody want to offer luck to spend to try and get this shot to go through?
If
Okay.
I miss with the grenade launcher, how do you determine where it ends up?
Yeah, we'll discuss that when you miss. We haven't determined it yet.
I'll give him luck.
Okay, how many?
2.
Okay, 2 luck points have been spent, so just mark that on your token or your character sheet.
I'll spend 4 of my own.
Okay, so we're at 16. We need
I will
2 more.
do 2 more.
Okay, so then we're locked in. We've got all the luck spent. 18 will hit. The grenade launcher shot fires through. Great. The magazine on a grenade launcher is 2. So you did say fire 2 shots, and I'm like, okay, well, as long as it's not an underbarrel, because underbarrels it's 1 shot, then the action would
Yeah.
be reload. But
It has 2 in the magazine.
yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay,
I was like Red Tail's surprised that he just pulls a fucking grenade launcher out of nowhere. Ah!
It seems like no. Actually, for flavor, what happened was Chino came out with it, and then he handed
Tossed it to
Tilda.
the-
Chino took it in one arm, and then handed the grenade launcher. And Hungry's like walked over just sternly and said,
Show you why I'm the boss.
second shot.
Coming soon. There it is.
Okay, same DV. So we're gonna need 5 more points in this. Otherwise, it's missing.
It's alright if it misses. You just can save your luck, I think. I'm worried about where it's gonna end up, though.
Nobody spending luck.
I'll give him a point of mine, so it'd be 2 points.
Okay, so we need 1. So we're at 13. Just added 2. We're at 15. We need 3 more points.
2 more points.
2 more points.
I've got 1 more I could spend. I'll do it.
Okay. I need 1 more
I'll do
point. Who's got it?
I'll do 1 more.
I got him.
I haven't
Daniel.
given
Daniel
any.
said it.
Okay.
At least I heard that first. I don't know.
We're taking a look from the NPC, Mr.
Okay.
Armor Man.
NPCs don't have luck.
Sure they do. Red
Nope.
Tail did.
That wasn't an NPC. It was a,
I'm calling-
it was a
I'm
pre-generated
calling from
character. That's
I'm
what was so
calling from
weird.
My ancestor.
It was a pre-generated character, and it's funny because, like, yeah, it's not the first time I've had somebody name their character and it be a name of a pre-generated character. Like, somebody named themselves Lucky, and that was like the
That's all
Nomad.
it is.
Yeah. Okay, Hungry, your second shot will hit as well, with all the luck being burned into it. Grenade launcher's on empty. You blow the shit out of the sniper, and you also kill 1 of the 2 clowns. But what you see, to your horror, is that the clown with the massive top hat, who seems to have been the one that was yelling, obscenities towards you, moves very suddenly and very quickly up onto the industrial pieces, and seems to do so with kind of like a supernatural kind of speed and grace, in that he has reflexes higher than he has reflexes of 8, which allows him to evade explosions.
Oh, yeah. And then I get 1 more move action
Yep.
from the Sand Devastation, so we'll get in cover right here.
And just to make sure, folks, if you're familiar with Cyberpunk, a Sand Devastation basically allows him to move at like supernatural speeds with like a tracer and kind of a blur effect. So big man grabs grenade launcher, immediately appears where he's shooting, and then dashes like very suddenly over to the barrel of space. Cryptid, you're staying with Tilda.
In the car yet or no?
Getting is Chino's basically loading them up. Yeah, in the back
Okay.
where you guys were kind of riding.
No, Chino's got him, I think. What would it take? I see some pallets right here. What would
Yeah.
it take to maybe try to use those to get up on top of this building? Would that be a feasible thing?
So I would say that with the car where it's at, you could just run up the car and jump up onto the top of it without an issue.
That works too.
Yep.
Okay.
Red
Do I have
tail
to do any kind of check?
Blur.
Cryptid just like immediately kind of just jumps over top of you. I'd say no. It's very well
Okay.
perfectly positioned. Like I don't think anyone. Like I think anyone in the current chat could probably do it. Like it's that kind because the car kind of has like a low dip on the back. It's almost like a ramp, and then right off the top, you're just leaping like maybe a foot or 2 to get on top of this building because it's kind of sunk in a little bit. Okay, you're on top. You
Yep.
can see the crew out below, before you. Looks like there's 3 clowns kind of over there with El Mano up on the north side. There's a bit of smoke in between you and the top hat guy, so you're really just seeing like a silhouette and like a bright red glow from his cyber optic.
It depends if she has eyes that can see through smoke.
I had to aim for that bright red glow, though.
Yeah, that's a great question. Does Cryptid have infrared?
I
Remember
don't
what-
know where to look for that.
No worries. Scroll down to the bottom, and there should be a section called Cyberware. And then
All right.
there will be some tabs. One of the tabs will be
Cyber
Cyber
optics.
Optics. You have a pair, Image Enhanced, Micro Video, and Teleoptics. I
And
would say, unfortunately, no, the smoke
No.
is still going to be a problem because all yours are just high resolution visions of the same.
Yep.
And you're still recording, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you also have a BD recorder, so like, yeah, you're getting
Yep.
everything. Love that. Okay, so this guy will be harder to shoot. This
Yep.
guy looks like he's probably the easiest to shoot without there being kind of any scatter problems. But if you want to go wild, you can shoot a Blood's Fighting Mana.
No, we'll go for easy.
Okay.
We'll go for easy.
You pull this gun you just bought off the street, this Sunday night
We're
special.
gonna
'Cause
test it.
in game time, this is actually Sunday. So yeah. Go ahead and click the attack next to the Teen Dream section on the left side of the book.
Attack. There we go. Let's see.
Okay, so it is being fired in standard mode, it looks like, and 13, we're looking at a distance of 16 meters, which means we needed a better than 20. So you kind of pull the trigger and just shoot in, oh, it's auto fire only. Oh, what a fun gun.
Go for auto fire.
It doesn't have a choice. Yeah, it's locked in. So it has a 10-shot capacity. So that means that you fire all 10 rounds right now. And it will drain the magazine completely.
Ballpark.
And it falls apart in your hands. Yeah, it was the worst $20 you've ever spent.
It was a cheeseburger.
You know what? I still have.
That's what I was saying.
As,
I can
as
throw
the bullets
this
come
thing.
out, the bullet's just the gun's just a second.
Listen, I heard what Elmano was saying. I can still throw this thing.
You're right. You're learning
Okay.
from the best. You are learning from the best. Okay. Do you want
I
to?
pay attention.
You kind of pop up there, grab the weapon, kind of unfamiliar with it in your hands, pull the trigger. It's like, and it kicks high. You kind of shoot it wide, and then you can kind of like drop the barrel a little bit. And realize that it's completely melted through. Do you want to drop your person down on the roof to kind of like...
I'm gonna try to flatten myself behind
Yep.
the roof guards.
Gotcha. All right, so it'll go to the clowns, but before they go, the car goes. You are not driving it. It is on auto drive, which means its set DVs are going to be just kind of requisite, which means that it does not care about normal concerns on this specific traffic thoroughfare. Elmano, is your reflex 8 or higher?
Probably.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, it's 8.
Go ahead and make a evasion roll. It's under fighting. Okay, so you'll move and drop down onto the steps and then kind of lower yourself as the car rolls over the top of you. You watch as the car slams into the first clown. Daniel, since you're the one making the car do the thing, go ahead and roll me 6d6, please.
Let's go, baby. Double sixes.
All sixes.
Yes.
That would make this night go very, very fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so it hits this first clown, who basically gets caught up on the grill and is like back like this, oh, as the car goes forward. The other two get hit by the car, but kind of get pushed down into the side. It looks like they're knocked down, with the exception of this guy in the lead, who is fucking dead. It looks like one of the tires actually does one of those things you sometimes see in the movies, but you're watching it from the side, so it's like horror show, just all over the place. And then once the car actually breaks out onto this portion of the street, this other clown that was on it will just kind of get thrown forward because it stops and gets ready for the turn. Like, it doesn't just quickly turn. It's following traffic rules. You have to brake and check for traffic.
It'll check for traffic,
love
but not for
that.
pedestrians.
Look
Get the
both
fuck
ways.
out the road.
So, Primetime, you have control of the car, but there's nothing you can do in the sense of like the net space to change its function. It is going to continue to drive here. It's not going to be able to be driven manually. That's not like what we're doing here, right? You basically just told the auto
Right.
drive to do what it's supposed to do. So you can jack out, or you can just leave yourself jacked in and take meat actions, whichever you want to do.
Yep. All right. I'm going to shoot at that clown.
Okay. Do you want to move up to get a better kind of like proximity? Because I think you're using a pistol, right?
Correct.
Yeah, close range the better. I believe that you want to get within 6 meters, so 3 squares, if you can. Yeah. Basically same line as Hungry. But you don't want to be in the middle of the street because you know where the car's going. Don't be Elmano. Elmano can dodge cars. You can't dodge yours.
Yeah,
No, Elmano can't. Elmano's so good at dodging cars. Elmano will jump out of a car and land on a car that they want to land on, but dodge the car anyway.
yeah, totally dodge the car. I'm a pro.
Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, perfect. When you rush over, like the glasses are on, you're kind of focused, you're like lowering your hand off the cyber deck as you're kind of pulling your gun out. And what you're noticing, Hungry, as he's walking over to you with this kind of cold kind of disposition, behind the shades, which are like mirror shades, you can see glowing red, which you know means that he is jacked in. And you see the car kind of pull up and throw the clown, and you're kind of like, 1 + 1 = 2. You're not Elmano, so you understand that the car appears to be under Primetime's control. Primetime, you lift the pistol. Go ahead and throw the attack. Oh, this is a submachine gun. Cool. You're firing single shot then, and that still works. The DV's a little higher for submachine guns, but basically pulls out this Arasaka submachine gun, kind of light, weapon. Pulls the trigger, single shot straight to the face, or straight to the chest rather, and that'll kill the clown. Anything else, Primetime?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah, very cold, very calculated, very perfect. Because it's Primetime, baby. At the beginning, or at the end of the initiative, you'll see that the armored guy kind of rushes back towards the car. And you can see that in his hands, he's holding 2 pistols, kind of keeping eyes. He's looking at the smoke, and he's looking down the road. And you can see that his eyes, when they turn towards the smoke, the gleam on his helmet's visor changes from just kind of like a static kind of, light glow to like a bright red glow, which, again, Primetime, you would know he's switching between infra and, regular vision. So he's looking through the smoke. He's literally seeing through the smoke. So it looks like he's basically the last gun. Riff, you are up. There's a big ass fucking van in the way. It is moving still, but it kind of like stopped for a second. So you can. The doors are all open too. They did not close the doors when they got out. Clowns never do.
Is there can I shoot through this area here, or is the car kind of blocking it?
The car would be blocking it.
Okay. Is there a way I can get on top of the building?
Yeah, jump onto the barrels, jump up. Yeah, that's fine. I'd say make an athletics, DV 7. Athletics is under body, I think.
21.
Yeah, easy peasy. So yeah, Rift hops up. It does a flip, like backwards flip up onto the thing. Cryptid, you kind of look to the right, kind of from your low position. You see the rocker hop up there, kind of coming around with this big old mean revolver, pointing it down. Who's your target? Top hat or
walk to the edge?
You coming for the king?
I think I will shoot a top hat. I have seen Elmano mess up a car, so I know he can mess up that guy.
Okay.
So actually, I will move still. I think I have some movement left.
You dropping down then?
I was just gonna move over.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so that'd be probably get there.
Probably.
At least try to make it a little easier.
I'd say 1 square was wasted and going up.
Okay. So it'd be
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Okay, I have 8, so I can move 7 up here.
Cool.
Go there.
All right.
It's still about the same. No. Oh well. I will shoot at him.
Yeah. We're looking at 14 meters.
Yeah, so I need a 20.
That'll miss. You'll notice that he actually dodges the bullet. And it's very kind of crazy because he kind of moves his head very suddenly to the side. His hat remains in space, and then he kind of lowers his head back up into the hat.
Okie dokie.
And
I'll risk him, dude.
he will use his ready to action to shoot back at you. Okay. This is kind of mean, but here we are. He is going to hit you.
I can barrel evasion, right?
Oh, you have reflexes 8?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, he hits me anyway.
All right. So, he hits you straight in the chest. The armor jack, it does quite a bit on the damage return, right? But you can feel your lung collapse at the hit. You're going to take a total of it's going to be 25 points of damage. So your armor's 11, right?
Yep.
Okay, so really quick for the new folks. This is the first person you've seen get hit. It's not an NPC. If you're wearing armor, like a bodyweight suit, light armor jacket, etc., when you get hit, first you take the armor value and subtract it from the damage that you received. Then you take damage equal to the remainder, hit point damage. Then your armor fails a bit. It ablates, which means that you're going to reduce the value on the left side of your armor jack in that space down by 1. So whatever your armor jack was at, Riff, but it wasn't damaged from yesterday, was it?
No.
Or earlier today, I mean? Okay.
No, I didn't get hit earlier.
Yeah, you were sitting in the backseat of a car the whole time. All you're doing was spitting luck.
Playing on there.
So yeah, you'll just take
Yep.
damage over your armor jack value. 25 was the total amount of damage, and you'll also suffer the critical injury collapse lung, which says you have -2 to your movement speed, and your base death save penalty is increased by 1, which means that if you do get into a dying state, it is more likely that you die.
Okay.
Knock the
Rub
wind
some
right the
drops
fuck
on it,
out
you'll
of
be
you.
fine.
Okay, Red Tail, you're up.
Okay.
Do you have infra for your eyes?
I have infrared.
Yeah. Yeah, so the heat
I
signatures.
start glowing. He just walks into the smoke. He's
The
gonna
heat
take a
signatures
shot.
that you're seeing, you would see the top hat. Strangely, in infra, the hat is hot. Then
Oh my
you
God.
see a guy at the top of the stairs who's like slowly peeling themselves off the asphalt, and what could not be anything besides El Mano. And in infra, in the Berserk engaged state, is literally just this beacon of like Dragon Ball Z fire.
I think he's got that handle over there.
Oh yeah. I think El Mano's plan is to pick up this guy and throw it at the boss.
Uh-huh.
Red-
How did you know?
It's like I know your character. Red Tail. What are we doing once you get that position? Taking a shot at the.
We're taking a shot at top hat.
Okay. Distance wise, I think we are in the sweet spot. We are not. We are just outside the sweet spot. So you needed a 15. You can spend luck after the fact. You have a rocker, so you need
I'll use my one luck.
You need 2 luck. It needs to be over the DV.
Okay, I'll use both.
You said you only had 1.
I'll say fuck this guy. Blow his hat off.
Okay. So you're shooting him in the chest. He'll take 10. It looks like his armor soaks it.
No, wait, it's supposed to be a burst fire. Hold on. It's supposed to be three shot. So I charged earlier.
That's right, that's right. So it'll be rate of fire 3. So you can fire 2 more times.
Okay. Oh god, I was gonna miss the other 2 shots. All right. Where are you?
Second one will miss. Third one will hit. Okay, so 10 and 9. So the armor is damaged a bit, but again, it is not getting through to him. It is not killing him. Okay. Because his armor is an 11. You knocked it down to 10 with the first one, and then you knocked it down to 9 with the second one.
Okay. And that's it, I guess.
Cool. And then
I guess I don't know what this is right here. Is this a railing or something? I'm in the smoke. I feel like I duck down behind something.
Yeah, it is a railing, but it's just like one of those like simple like metal railings. It's not going to provide a shit ton of cover. Do you have any more movement, or are you spent?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got one more cover.
You could fall into the pit. So go under the railing and then drop into the pit. It would be the clearer cover point. So then you'd be kind of behind the stairs and in the metal there.
Slips down into the...
Red tail done. Elmano. Step up the steps.
Alright, so truck comes, he kind of swings himself down onto the stairs and then climbs up and like grabs this guy as he's like getting up off the ground and will literally just like like shot put him.
Real quick. There is a bit of an effort here. So grab is a brawling maneuver, but it's your whole action to grab a guy. So
so I'm gonna grab him.
Yeah, so you're gonna make a brawling roll, which will be under fighting.
Three.
And what did you get?
Monster.
Oh, I got a 23.
You win.
I also had at least one hand left filled with drugs. So.
Oh yeah. So you're just like
he stuffs the drugs into his mouth.
Like goes to grab him with the drug hand.
You're just smashing the drugs on him. There's like this big puffing cloud as you kind of just like angrily like through the cloud of sparkles. All you can see is the bright red light on your chest and your eyes, like just through the luchador mask. You grab a hold of him. For all intents and purposes, you both are considered to be in the grappled state, and you take a -1 or -2 penalty to all actions that are not intended for the grappled. You can now move. You do not suffer any penalties due to the body disparity between the two of you. So you can move your speed and go wherever you want with him.
Okay.
You've already moved 1 space, so whatever. 7 more.
4.
Here comes Almano. He's gonna beat a dude with another dude.
Yeah. 5.
Look, Grendel rip off his arm and beat the other guy.
Yeah.
Dodge this, you filthy peasant.
Oh.
I mean, he did Hulk a guy last time.
Sorry. There's another thing here. You have rate of fire 2 right now because of the berserk. You could throw.
Yeah.
Yes, you could throw the person.
I would like to throw him.
Yes. If you're currently the attacker in a grapple, you can use an action or rate of fire 1 to throw them onto the ground, dealing your body stat directed to their hit points in damage. However, you're throwing this as if they were an object. So go ahead and make an athletics roll. And you can throw them to a maximum of 25 meters. Because, again, your body is sufficient enough to make them an object in this purpose.
Holy shit.
Alright. You said athletics?
That's right.
I would like to use, I can use luck on this roll, or no?
You can use luck after, because you have a rocker, so you don't have to use it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's always great to have a rocker on your squad.
Alright.
Or to play one. That's a heads up, you guys should.
So I got 17. I need a...
Great. Distance-wise, with the throne, you are aiming at a target, And I would say distance-wise, it would probably have about the same range characteristic as the launcher. So this means that you hit with what you've got.
Okay.
Because the nature of this is ad hoc, what is your body score? 14, right?
Yeah.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this will do... No, it's not 14. 14.
No, it's not.
Yeah, yours is 12, right?
It says it's 11, but I thought it was higher than
It
that.
should be 12, and I don't know why it's not. I'll fix it later. But anyways,
Okay.
picking them up,
Fine.
chucking them, hitting, it's going to do 6 damage to one and 6 damage to the other. And I rolled to evade and failed. Okay. That'll kill the throw E. As he kind of hits the top hat guy, lifts his arm up, and you can see that he's holding kind of in an ice pick grip this really long curved knife. And as he kind of lifts it up, you can see it kind of hit the arm and kind of break it back a little bit, but the blade kind of cuts the thrown clown in half, so it kind of like splits past him.
And El Mono's within 10 meters of me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you heal for. Are we rounding up or down?
Round down in this game.
Down. Okay, you heal for 5 HP, El Mono.
Oh, thank God. I've been
Take
like
damage.
teetering on critical injury for the whole day.
That's the perk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the perk, when an ally reduces a character, drone, mech, or something to 0, they get half my player instrument skill as long as they're within 10 meters of me and can hear me.
Yeah. I think there's an addendum I've added to that in my notes, but it's not a huge one. It's just you can't unseriously injure somebody, so you can't get them out of seriously injured status. Okay, Hungry, you're up. And this is round 2 of your Sandy. If I remember correctly, it has 3 rounds?
The turn I use it, and the 3 rounds after, I think.
Yeah. Grenade
drop
launcher currently empty. Yeah.
Yeah, drop the grenade launcher, pull my heavy pistol out, which is an action, right?
No.
Oh.
Weapon interactions, as long as you're not like pulling them out of a case or out of a bag or something, you're just pulling the pistol and dropping a grenade launcher in front of prime time.
Yeah. And I want to try to do what Riff did by hopping on the barrels and then hopping up here.
Okay. So yeah, athletics, BV is 5. Or 7. Regardless. Oh, that's El Mono's athletics for throwing a guy. Okay.
I rolled the 1.
Who is
Okay, this is
not-
in character. This is in character.
Who is not that
Big old
bad.
guy.
What I will say is it's a little saddening, but it's not the worst thing ever. So you jump up, and as you kind of make your way that distance, you kind of don't make it all the way up. You don't lift yourself enough. The gravity definitely gets the better of you. So you kind of catch onto the roof with your arms, and you can use your action to just lift yourself up, or use an action to lift yourself up. I would say a move action, to be totally fair.
Okay. So probably...
Still got movement from that
move
that
actions.
bit, a little bit, like 2, I think. Because your speed is 4, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that would be both your move actions just to get up there. You still have your 2 actions.
Shooting the heavy pistol.
Bang, bang. Okay. Alright, we're looking at 14 meters here, so we needed a 20. You want to spend luck on the 19?
Nope.
It's going to miss. You want to spend luck on the 18?
Nope.
Alright, both shots will miss. As the Quasar sounds off. Cryptid, make a perception check. Creepy.
Will do. Let me find that again. There we go.
Okay.
Oh.
No new
Oof.
information is gleaned.
Yikes. Alright. Gonna drop down from the edge of the building here.
Okay.
Bloop. And move up and climb onto this thing. And you know what? We're gonna try to throw that dud of a pistol.
Okay.
That melted up brick of
Go
probably
ahead and
plastic.
roll athletics.
Athletics. Alright, it's gonna be what, in body?
Yes. And what is your body score? It's like a 4 or 5, right?
I think it's a 5. Hold on.
Zero.
Five.
Okay.
Hey!
The
So good.
The gun goes
Look,
backwards.
I am trying, guys. I'm
So-
working with what I got, and that's not a lot.
Just
As
drop
you're
it.
rushing forward, like a little gust of wind from the south kind of causes a bit of the smoke to get into your eyes, and you're kind of like already kind of crying from all the activity from that you kind of ran over, and you're holding this piece of shit pistol which is still kind of like smoldering at its end, smoking, and you're just like ah, and you throw it, and it goes, and instead of like hitting, you can't really tell what happens to it because your sight is kind of like watery. But then once the Kuroshi's kind of like auto set and you can see, it looks like the pistol stuck in the top half of the body that was split in half by the blade. So there's a clown with a gun stuck in its torso laying on the floor next to the top hat guy. And he looks down at
over
it.
there.
He looks down at it as he's kind of like, you know, shaking his arm like from the El Mano hit and goes, "What the fuck?" Anything else, Cryptid?
Try to flatten myself back here as much as possible, make myself small.
Okay. So totally not concerned about that. You watch as the top hat man leaps into the air like a solid 15 feet and like kind of outwards in a very like quick velocity like a missile. He does a flip in the air while holding the top hat and lands next to El Mano with that cool ass blade, and then very quickly just goes, and you can't see me making the gesture because all you got is cat right now, but it's like a cool cross cut in front of him. Evasion, 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 please, El Mano.
Oh. Yeah.
And then yeah. So the first one comes in and it like cleaves across the chest, like right above the berserker unit. Blood starts to kind of splatter from that wound. Your armor is 7.
Currently 9.
9. That's right. You got the cool subdermal. Okay. So you're gonna ablate that armor 2 points in the chest, and after the 9, you're gonna take a total of 8 damage. So it would have been a total of 17. So yeah, you're taking 8 instead of that. For the second shot, that upward stroke, he's going to do a total of 19 damage, so take off the 7, 12 damage, and then you're going to ablate that armor 2 more points. And then even with you dropping into seriously injured and that 29 becoming a 27, it still dodges. So as you realize he's just cutting your big muscular chest, you kind of like drop back and get your arms up like in a boxing posture and are able to avoid that next shot. Baby Cat, I know you like to watch Cyberpunk. I know it's true. But right now I'm busy.
The
Okay.
baby cat.
So Top Hat Man appears to be very good with that blade. Annoyingly so. And annoyingly quick. Done with the clown, because that's the only one left. Prime time. Make a perception check for free.
I'm on it. You also forgot to move my car, sir.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I totally forgot. Thank you. It does a kind of turn around the way there and then goes to where you allocated it. So basically right on the road. Now, you're still jacked into it. If you want to move it again, you just have to control, change its auto drive location, and then control, start its auto drive. But the perception check will tell you the roof of this little like construction building is made out of corrugated steel and very not strong supports and rafters. And there were, for a moment there, 3 individuals standing on top of it. And now one very large individual and one not so large individual standing on top of it. You're pretty sure it's going to give in like the next second or so.
That sounds like something I should keep to myself.
Absolutely.
They'll figure it out here.
Hey, I think that roof's gonna give out soon. You might want to get off.
Okay.
Also, the other car, is the alarm still going off on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. And then my other question is there anything in Cyberpunk similar to like Bloodied and stuff? Like, can you tell
Seriously
how
injured.
an
Yes.
NPC is like how an NPC is doing?
Yeah, so once they become seriously injured, that means that they're at like half health.
Is Top Hat guy seriously injured?
No.
I
El
am.
Mono is. I believe so is Riff, or close to it. But I know they
Close, yeah.
they have a collapsed lung, so that's a injury you can see.
Okay, and final question. With my insight on this roof about to collapse, is it just in those squares? So, like, if I'm next to it,
But
am I most likely also going to be hit by it?
inside the roof, it's just going to drop straight in.
Okay, I think I'm going to move and shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, just to there.
Yeah, you would have been able to fire like from your starting location. Oh, you're going for Top Hat. You're going around the corner. Perfect. I forgot I jumped into the cool flip. Take the shot.
Working on it.
No worries. And yeah, you can reach around and pop out. That's fine. Okay, 16. We are looking at 14 meters. You needed a 15, and you got it. Right over 15. That'll hit.
I think it's also not adding the +1, right?
For targeting scope, I don't believe it is. You're right. So it should be a 17.
Doesn't matter, but yeah.
Because it's smart gun ammunition. And if you miss by like a certain amount, you can also re-roll it. Okay, that'll hit. Hits him in the chest. He is currently armor plating damaged twice because of the auto. Yeah, so he's gonna need 11 damage. So he'll take 2 damage and his armor will blade again. Okay. So his armor is looking fucked up, but he's looking kind of good. He doesn't look great, but like he doesn't look seriously injured or anything. And that weapon has a rate of fire of what? What does it say the rate of fire is?
Is that how many like rounds it uses each?
It'll say there should be a word that says ROF or rate of fire up at the top of
3
the.
rounds with each attack check.
It deals
Oh,
3d6, expending 3 rounds with each attack check. If not enough rounds are available to fire, it empties the magazine and deals 2d6 instead. Yeah. So you fired a total of
6.
Twice. Yeah, so 6 rounds have gone out. And then it says rate of fire 1.
Correct, yeah.
If you switch it to auto fire instead of single shot, you'll use the auto fire skill, which I think yours is not bad. And then when you shoot it, for each point you succeed over the DV up to a maximum of 4, you're going to multiply your damage times that number. So shooting this 3-shot burst is fine, but shooting this bad boy in full auto fire is the way to go. Primetime done. Riff up. Sorry. End of the initiative is up. I need evasion rolls from Hungry and from Riff. And Hungry. It's under fighting.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you can either jump down or fall into the building. Your choice, but the roof is giving way and you're going into it or out of it. Your call. But you're not going to take any damage or anything. Okay, Riff, you hop down. Hungry, you drop down. Both of you kind of look at each other as you hear the and then you're both kind of like stepping forward, leap of faith thing as it just and you kind of land. Hungry kind of like a fucking rock, just and Riff very gracefully, but like in like a superhero pose. I assume you drop to the knee.
And then coughs up blood.
Oh yeah,
Just a little bit.
Collapse like I forgot.
No, but I look good doing it.
What he does is kind of like looking back towards Red Tail, like I'm expecting something here.
So
You can't see me. I'm in the smoke.
I got infrared.
That's the fox.
You see it? Where is he?
There's the silhouette of a fox moving around in the shadows, playing tricks with you.
As it would. They're smoking a pipe.
I'm just sitting there smoking a cigarette, like. Huh?
No, they're smoking a pipe and being creepy.
Rip, how would you like to go about?
Okay, so I've seen this guy dodge a bunch of shots.
Yeah.
So I have absolute confidence in Elmano. Like, I trust him, so I'm going to give him an extra action on his turn.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
So he has 3 actions now, I think, with his rage thing.
That's not how the Berserk works, but yeah. Berserk is just a big shit ton of damage bonuses. It's no extra actions. And it gives a rate of fire extra on swingy punchy.
Actually, I have to move up to do that, but I will move up.
Okay.
Uh,
And that's
so
the
I will
perk.
move.
I think you can click that down just so I have it, so people know what's going on. And out of character
let's
note, perks are bought with insight or improvement points. So as you level, you can take perks. The thing we do in our homebrew.
I have no way to click it, but I can post it.
Okay. And then Redtail, you're up. Redtail, as far as you know, you are completely obscured from his vision, which means that if he is dodging bullets,
I'm coming out.
okay, because he wouldn't be able to see you if you shot at him, which means he can't dodge your bullet.
Oh, that's true. Well, Elmano's fucked up. I'm the doctor.
Do the doctoring then. Yeah, speed heals on the ready.
I'm
He
running
was
up.
fucked
I'm
up
running up
before
on
and
him.
you made jump.
I'm gonna speed heal.
Rushes forward, holding the speed heals.
I don't even have to hold it. I got quick hypo. I can just pull it out and do
Yep.
one act.
Yeah, exactly. Slam it into him. It's 4 healing for speed
No,
heal.
it's his body plus his will.
Oh shit. Okay. So Elmano, 12 plus whatever your willpower is. Gain that many hit points.
8.
Back. So
20.
18 or 20. Yeah.
Okay, she's being stupid. One.
Oh!
You feel somebody slam a hypo into your back, and yeah, everything feels a little bit better right now. Okay, Elmano, you're up. You have an extra action, full action,
Fuck yeah.
which means you can attack a total of 6 times with your meat cuffs.
Oh my god.
This is gonna get stupid.
Ah!
This is why you can't have 2 sets of speed more. This is
Alright, what I forget, like I'm so excited right now that I forgot what I clicked to attack him.
You should have a fists like attack on your thing, do you not? You did last time.
Is it just the brawling one?
There should be a brawling attack on the left, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna do that a total of 6 times. Okay. Pause for a second.
Nice.
So, things we need to take into account here. Firstly, you are berserking, which means you have +5 to your brawling damage rolls. So, all the damage results are going to be quite a bit higher. Second, I need to roll evasions in response. I have the reflex. Well, I don't need it for this. This is fisticuffs. I always need to evade fisticuffs. Okay, so I'm going to dodge the first attack.
Okay.
I'm going to dodge the second attack.
Okay.
I am going to dodge the third attack.
Okay.
I am going to fumble on the fourth attack, and I'm going to get a result of 9.
31.
I'm going to get a result of 9. I am going to dodge the 5th attack, and I am not going to dodge the 6th attack. Okay.
Fuck yes.
These are all body shots, so I'm going to go ahead and click critical injury twice, because both of the attacks that hit were the 2 that had critical injuries on them. Fuck me. And that means that the damage once again increases by 5. So 26 plus 10 is 36, and 27 plus 10... Oh no, it's already added into it. It's at 26 plus 5 is 31. 27 plus 5 is 32. 63 damage.
3. Okay.
And you collapse his lung and break his arm. So let me just go ahead and work this out. First swing comes in, you swing straight for his face. If he was standing there, you would have pushed his skull through the back of his head. He ducks below that, and the top hat gets knocked off. It feels clunky when it happens, like there's something in there. You swing with the next one coming with the left hook. He kind of rolls down from a low position and backs away from it, so you miss. You bring in the next one in kind of a hammer blow going for him. He continues to back away and hold back, and then he trips over something the step that he's kind of standing on, as you come in with a straight shot to his gut and hit his chest instead, you can hear his ribs crack and his lung collapse underneath the weight of the blow. You then swing just straight across again towards his face, a blur of action as he dodges by kind of curling over the first or the hit that stuck, and then instead of kind of pulling the punch and then swinging again, you lift him up with the fist that you already had in his gut so that he can't move away from the blow as you wind your arm back and swing it straight into his arm. You see his arm disconnect in such a way that it looks like the socket moved like a good half a foot. Just like
Is this the arm that had the knife?
Yeah, the arm that had the knife. You push that down like half a foot, and you can also see that it pops the skin on the top of it, and blood just starts flying out. He drops to the ground, and you can hear his screaming as he just drops and is dead. And that's the bozos.
You go for another 5 points.
And then I heal.
And that's the bozos. Time-wise, we have about a minute or two. So the aftermath. You secure Tilda, drive back to Vista Del Rey.
I want his top hat if I can.
You grab the top hat. Okay.
Give some first aid to Riff.
We'll get there. And yeah,
I would
absolutely.
like
If you
to
want to
pick
throw
up the knife. I don't know what I'm doing with it,
Okay.
but whoever wants it.
You have it. It is a very strange looking kind of machete, which we'll discuss more in a bit. But as you guys kind of gather up and get into not only the food truck, but also the van, you would also hear Tilda from the back saying, my car, I need my car. Primetime, go ahead and roll an interface roll for me.
So, I guess that's actually not supposed. You're supposed to just jack in, and then once you're in,
Right.
it's usually like
There's
a
a-
back door at that point.
Yeah, the back door is what I want. So that's I kind of move past it and say you jack in. You realize that there's a heavy net architecture that's defensive and blocking. So then it goes to the password, which is that interface roll I had you roll and you fumbled on the first time.
Yeah, because you didn't.
No.
let me
I
activate
want
my
my
worm, sir.
I want my netrunner to correct me, and these are the moments I love the most is when the netrunner starts telling me the rules because I'm just trying to sweep them through it so they get it easy mode. But yeah, if you're actually paying attention, great. Roll interface. DV on this is 7.
All right, so I'll jack in,
Yep.
fire up Sia and worm,
And
and
then
let's go ahead and try to backdoor this.
yes, which increases your gives you a bonus on your interface for it, right? Or it lowers the DV. I forget the wording on the worm.
It gives you +2.
Regardless, my guy, you fucking nailed it. So the car stops honking. You sit into the car, and you can drive it. And you can drive it through your cyber deck at this point, instead of actually driving it with piloting. Or
I would like to also do a Pathfinder check.
okay. Are you looking for any specific net architectures, like what it connects to?
Call shotgun.
Well, probably doesn't matter. But no, just to see if there is anything else in there, like
Sure.
anything hidden, anything else.
So the Pathfinder, it still alerts you to certain aspects, even if you're not keying off a specific interface. Because again, some things don't require a roll, some things do. Pathfinder will kind of denote that there is one strong link to this net architecture. Like it is a part of a separate hub, and that hub is Herrera Automotives, but specifically out of SoCal. So this is satellite linking to a net architecture in space, which is then connecting to Los Angeles. And so whoever turned this car off did so maliciously from Herrera headquarters.
Okay. I relay that information. And
Yeah.
otherwise, we're good.
Tilda's in a state and is being driven away in a food truck. You basically hand over the keys, but the keys are already in the car because the bozos are stupid. So there's a new van. Anybody who wants that can have it. And then Tilda's car is present. Mover gets on his trike and heads off. You guys all head back into Vista, and you drop off.
On.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Can we load the glitter into the back of the van?
You can, but you'll notice that it has proprietary logos Biotechnica on it. If you want to take that, you can.
It's a little too hot for me.
For the van,
Yeah,
like if you load it in the van, I'd say you could get 2 drums easy.
I've never missed two drums.
Taking
Come
the
on,
2
Riff.
drums of glitter. Okay. So based on the
Okay, if you say
volume,
so.
based on the volume
When
that's
El Nano shows up at your house,
based on the volume that's present, you think the street value is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 eddies, but you know that you would be selling that for years for you to actually be able to sell that off because of the amount you make.
You're right.
So you know that if you work with Hungry, that the 2 of you could probably make that work. Okay, so let me get to the end point here. What happens in the end of the evening here is you get back to Vista Del Rey, you dump Tilda off, and just as he promised, Flasher is there on the scene and recovers Tilda and Tilda's car. When you split off from one another, again, Hungry has sent you, how much did you send them, Hungry?
750 each.
750 eddies
Ooh.
each. And then Redtail, you throw some healing down on El Mono, which you can discuss in the Discord, just letting Magpie know how much is healed therein. And you also secure the 2 barrels and the Militech van. The Militech van is probably driven, in all honesty, the only person I think that wasn't in the other car, because I think Cryptid rode with Primetime. I'm pretty sure Rick could drive the van. And you take that to a secure location. That can either be Redtail's office in Wellspring, or Hungry's office, or the his mega building in the Glen. Which of those 3 locations would you want to go to?
Probably the mega building.
Mega building. Okay, so Hungry, you currently have the goods, about 5,000 eddies. Well, it's actually closer to 10,000 eddies worth of glitter if you want to move drugs. And I think that is it. We'll call it there. Very good session. Good job, everybody. Very good first showing for folks. And I think we might have a pickup on Saturday. I don't know yet. We'll see. We for sure will be having some pickup games next week after the holidays, like in between Christmas and New Year's. So keep an eye out in the Dark Skies channel for that. Again, thanks for watching those that did, and we'll see you next time.